Continuation of the witch hunt. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's how President Trump describes claims of a possible cover-up in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. And he says reporters should be focusing on his intelligence chief's recent allegations of an Obama administration conspiracy in the 2016 election Russian interference probe.
Whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. Obama's been caught directly. So people say, oh, you know, a group. It's not a group. It's Obama. His orders are on the paper.
The director of national intelligence has made a criminal referral to the Justice Department. Meantime, some Republican lawmakers have joined a Democrat push for all files related to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein to be released, but not enough support to get past the House Rules Committee.
Republican committee member Ralph Norman accusing Democrats of playing politics.
Actually, the amendments are pretty good, to be honest with you, but it's misleading because their intent is to just try to put blame on this president. He's not guilty of anything. He's going to release the information.
Majority Leader Steve Scalise says committee meetings will continue through Thursday before lawmakers leave for August recess.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on Capitol Hill. President Trump today offering support for a Justice Department attempt to meet with Epstein's imprisoned co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. His comments coming during an Oval Office meeting with the president of the Philippines, who's still trying to make a trade deal.
He's a very tough negotiator. So far, we're not there because he's negotiating too tough. In fact, I used to like him better than I do now. He's too tough. But we'll probably agree to something.
Otherwise, a 20% tariff on Filipino goods is set to kick in August 1st. The president also just telling reporters his administration is considering removing taxes on capital gains from home sales, adding they wouldn't have to if the Fed would lower interest rates. America is listening to Fox News.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Several days of hardcore summer on the way. The extreme heat warning goes through at least Thursday. Partly sunny, hot, and humid this afternoon. We'll watch for a spot storm. 97, 77 for the overnight low. Wednesday and Thursday, partly sunny, hot, and humid. 99 each day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there'll be a bit of an increase in scattered thunderstorms, but still in the 90s. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show Live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 55 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, Dad. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Well, it's Tuesday. Welcome to the Annie Fry Show. You know, was it this weekend was the official 6 months of President Trump's second term? I believe it was.
Yep.
We're asking you today on the YouTube live chat poll to grade the first 6 months of Trump's second term. And if you ever are unsure about the things that they've done in Donald Trump's second term, all you need to do is listen to any press conference or opportunity to speak, and he will go through the list. Do you think that's necessary for him to do? I mean, he's obviously earned the right to be in the position to say what he wants at those. He has so many interactions with the press.
I would say for those of us who are, if you're listening to 97.1 right now, you're plugged in. Those people, us people, we don't necessarily need to hear that list every time. But it's for the average American who is not plugged into the news like we are, that he's constantly reminding everyone of all the things that he's done. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I think that I'm like, I want to like fast forward.
No, I get it.
I don't mind that it's happening, but like you said, we're like, we know.
But
we've been there the whole time. Not everybody has.
I mean, aside from a handful of news outlets, Fox News being probably chief among them, nobody ever is really giving him credit for anything. So I don't think it's a bad idea for him to constantly do that.
The other part of what's being revealed now about Barack Obama's not participation in, but direction of a manufactured story to hang a Russia collusion narrative around Donald Trump. We know that whole hoax, that the actual investigative participants, the people who are in charge of looking into what's happening in these regards, we know that they did a report, a full analysis of that election, and they said Russia didn't do anything here. Nothing of what we're talking about. There is no partnership with Donald Trump to try to flip this election. It didn't happen. We know that Barack Obama said, redo that report and give it to me with Donald Trump's participation in it.
Yeah, lie to me.
Yes.
So that I can lie to everyone.
Under President Obama's direction.
Continuation of the witch hunt. The witch hunt that you should be talking about is they caught President Obama absolutely cold, Tulsi Gabbard. What they did to this country in 2016, starting in 2016, but going up to 2020 of the election. They tried to rig the election, and they got caught. And there should be very severe consequences for that. You know, when we caught Hillary Clinton, I said, you know what? Let's not go too far here. It's the ex-wife of a president, and I thought it was sort of terrible. And I let her off the hook, and I'm very happy I did. But it's time to start, after what they did to me, and whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. Obama's been caught directly. So people say, oh, you know, a group. It's not a group. It's Obama. His orders are on the paper. The papers are signed. The papers came right out of their office. They sent everything to be highly classified. Well, the highly classified's been released. And what they did in 2016 and in 2020 is very criminal. It's criminal at the highest level. So that's really the things you should be talking about.
President Trump speaking today from the Oval Office. I believe he was there with, is it the president of the Philippines? Is that what he's referred to?
Oh, I don't know the answer to that.
So they have these bilateral meetings in the Oval Office or whatever, and I think that he's here to talk trade deals. I heard President Trump talking about how, we're not quite there with the deal because he's a really strong negotiator. He loves the Philippines, and he's negotiating really hard. And I'm like, don't pat him on the head. Just reach over and pat. So he's the Philippines guy is just sitting there like that, and he's going into Russia collusion. But this is his opportunity to control the narrative, and he always does. Meanwhile, you look around what the president has been able to do, actual policies that have been put into place, because I think that when people voted for Donald Trump, they wanted his policies, but they also wanted to give the proverbial bird to the deep state, to the system, the thing that, like, if the American people get this wrong, we'll step in, which may or may not be what happened in 2020. The more these investigations start to produce documents with the FBI and the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, having access to expose these things, the more I want to know what happened in 2020. And I have been publicly very cautious on saying out loud, Donald Trump won the 2020 election, and they stole the election from him. I've never really been that person before. I think that they changed the rules. This is what I've said the whole time. I still think this is the case, but I'm kind of like trying to peek around the curtain a little more to be like, There, because there's a there everywhere else. Everything else that has been alleged against Donald Trump, we are finding out that the deep state or the Democrats or the structure, that they've all been doing the very thing they're accusing Donald Trump of. Which is why I was kind of talking about this yesterday, but I didn't really go in hard on it. Remember that Tulsi Gabbard ran for the Democratic nomination to be the president of the United States. She was running as a Democrat because she was serving as a Democrat from the state of Hawaii. She's maybe the most prominent Republican to ever come out of Hawaii at this point.
I guess she is a Republican
yes,
now,
she
isn't
is.
she?
She became a Republican in the campaign.
That's right.
Maybe in like October, but she did.
Close. Yeah,
yes.
She was independent.
Because like RFK Jr., he's not a Republican.
I don't think so.
I don't even know that he's not a Democrat.
I think he's just independent.
I think he might still be a registered Democrat. He was going to run as an independent, but I'm regardless, he's still a Democrat.
Yeah.
Like in the majority of policies he has, he's a Democrat, and he's said many times. Donald Trump and I sat down, and he saw what I wanted to do with our food system, with our health system, and we agreed wholeheartedly on that, and we decided to set the other things aside. Now that's an American partnership right there. Not only did Tulsi Gabbard run to be the president of the United States on the Democratic side of the ticket, she wanted to be the president of the United States. She ran up against Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. She was one of the few that were kind of remaining there, being taken seriously in that primary. The Democrat apparatus said it was going to be Hillary. Bernie Sanders would completely agree with that as well. They booted her out, and then they put her on a watch list. She became a security concern. They put her on lists where she was limited in her ability to move about the country freely without being bothered. They did this to Tulsi because they figured she was a threat. She's an American citizen. She served her country, I believe, at least up until her position as the director of national intelligence, that she was still in active service. This is a patriot, and it doesn't matter if she's a Democrat or a Republican. She's a patriot. She's an American patriot, and the only reason why these security restrictions were levied against her is because she was the enemy of the Democrat Party. But more importantly, the Democrat structure that is in the shadow parts of our government that gets to stay there, that bureaucracy that doesn't change when the American people have their right to speak and say, we want the country to go in this direction. We want the country to go in hope and change direction. And then Mitt Romney comes up and offers an alternative and the country goes, no. We still are going to roll the dice on hope and change. And then Donald Trump comes in there, and amidst all of the things that they threw at Donald Trump, he still wins that election. People talk about the 2020 election, whether it was stolen or not. Crazy red hair faux comedian. She's not funny. Held a
Kathy Griffin.
Yeah. How'd you? It was the crazy part.
It was the redhead part.
Redhead part. She's come out and she has said, like, I'm just going to say it. I think that the 2024 election was stolen.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's cute.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I wonder how honest the 2016 election was. I wonder if one of the reasons they were so shocked that Donald Trump won is because they thought that they had it under control. I mean, I wonder everything. I'm looking around everywhere. If the president of the United States, if Barack Obama can tell an intelligence report to be redone to show the American people what he needs to show them so that they will distrust and mistrust the new president of the United States, and then use that for 4 years to destroy his credibility, all because Barack Obama was not satisfied with the first report because it didn't fit the narrative that he wanted to. You're telling me he can manufacture something, tell our intelligence community to put something together so he can run with it? I mean, if that's what happened, and that's what happened, anything's possible.
I'll add one thing about Tulsi that I've been following for a long time, and that's that...
The gray streak?
No, I think that's super cool. It's like, what's her name from X-Men?
Rogue.
I kept wanting to say Jean Grey. It's Rogue. Tulsi has been doing things behind the scenes for 6 months now, or as long as she's been as DNI. One of the things that she keeps kind of slow dripping is that she is looking at the machines from 2020 and 2024, the voting machines. We don't know what's going to come of this, but she has already sent out requests of information. I don't know what those are called, subpoenas, affidavits, whatever. I'm not a legal analyst, but she sent out the legal notice to 7 states now, 7 swing states, saying that they need all the information from their voting machines. That's happening simultaneous to them doing this investigation, now referring to prosecution for Barack Obama.
And the key behind all of this, all of these investigations that we want to see manifest, those departments, I was going to say, they can work in the background, in the shadows. And I'm like, well, no, wait, we want less of that.
Yes.
But, I mean, with honesty and integrity, those investigations could and should be going on. And I don't really, if they're happening, I don't really care to know the day-to-day details of it. Maybe there's a frequent drop of information if there's a big lead in the story. But I don't need this story to lead the day. I want to know about the trade deal with the Philippines or however many. I want to know how close we are to China. I want to know how the tax, the big, beautiful bill, how that's going to be implemented and how we're going to benefit from it. I want to know how the border is being secured. We have to do a lot of things at one time. And as people who supported this president, I want to make sure that we are doing the things we need to do to support him in every possible way. That we can't get so obsessed with, I'm ticked at this whole thing because Barack Obama's not in handcuffs yet. Like, that's not the only goal here. And honestly, it might never actually happen. But that doesn't mean exposure of truth and honesty can't take place.
Trust Jeff Sessions.
Trust the plan.
Trust the plan.
We'll be right back. Don't go away. AirComfortService.com. If you are experiencing any sorts of issues with your HVAC system, you want Air Comfort Service to come give it a check and make sure that you are taken care of, not taken advantage of. That's a huge deal. When you call 314-513-0091, you can have them come out and give your AC a system check. It is smoking hot out there right now. I think I heard that the real feel for this week or today or something is going to be 112 degrees outside. Why am I wearing a sweatshirt right now? That's crazy. If the AC is not keeping you in your comfort zone, call them, have them come out and do a check on your system. They can tell you about repairs. They can tell you about replacements if that's what's needed, and they can hook you up with any rebates. Great financing, 0% for 72 months. Air Comfort Service is there to walk you through exactly what all of your options are so you can choose the best one for you. 314-513-0091, 314-513-0091. You can also check out all the deals they have online at aircomfortservice.com. Check out their AC system check, sign up for their maintenance plan, and go online and see the rebates they have available. aircomfortservice.com.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsley. We know the loss and the cost of an accident because when an insurance company offers a lowball settlement, we go to war for you and take the fight to the insurance company. Call 314-500-5000.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Tony LaRussa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
This station is now conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Speeding while driving gives you less time to react. Another car could turn out in front of you. A pedestrian could be walking their dog. Follow the speed limit to keep them safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Margot Cleveland at the Federalist did an excellent job reporting this case. You have this D.C. Obama judge, Jeb Boasberg, who told the Judicial Conference, the leaders of the federal judiciary, that there's going to be a constitutional crisis with President Trump and they need to stop it, which is highly inappropriate that he did that in the first place.
So there you have Mike Davis. He is a friend of the Annie Fry Show. We have him on with some regularity. He's the founder and president of the Article 3 Project, giving props to Margot Cleveland at the Federalist for doing a deep dive into exactly how these judges, these D.C. judges, have a predisposition to the president and to this administration. And we are so excited to have Margot Cleveland herself come onto the Annie Fry Show to discuss this. She's a senior legal correspondent at the Federalist. Margot, thank you for being with us today. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Oh, thanks so much, Annie.
So I don't think that really, at least for our audience, people aren't going to have their jaws agape because they're like, the D.C. judges are predisposed to not liking President Trump or this administration. But you've done a lot of research that really has the receipts on what this is all about. What can you tell us about this predisposition?
Sure. So I was provided access to a document which was a memorandum summarizing the Judicial Conference. And the Judicial Conference is a small group that provides oversight policy recommendations for federal judges. It consists of Chief Justice John Roberts, the chief judges of all of the different circuit courts, so there are 14 total, as well as a representative from the district courts of each judicial circuit, including Judge Boasberg. So this is a small working breakfast, and one of the things the judges would raise would be concerns. And as would be expected, most of the concerns would be appropriate ones, such as we have concerns about our budget. We have concerns about the safety of judges. Well, Judge Boasberg raised a concern that was not so appropriate, saying that his colleagues were concerned that the Trump administration would not obey the rulings and that that would lead to a constitutional crisis. And the reason this is extremely inappropriate is we're not talking about just the president. We're talking about a litigant before these judges. So the Trump administration was a defendant. These judges are overseeing trials, overseeing motions, overseeing cases, and they are back there gossiping about what they are concerned that the Trump administration will do. And you have to keep in mind, at this point, there were no rulings that even under any possible scenario you could say that Donald Trump's administration ignored. The only reason for that kind of a comment would be is if the judges had a predisposition against the President of the United States, which is completely inappropriate. You're supposed to go in unbiased. You're supposed to make decisions based on the evidence before you. These are the judges who tell the juries that. And yet here we had Judge Boasberg saying that his colleagues in the D.C. Circuit had this predisposition against the President of the United States.
We're speaking with Margot Cleveland, the senior legal correspondent at the Federalist, and I encourage you to check out her article. Their memo reveals D.C. judges predisposed against Trump administration. A predisposition can manifest itself in the way the judges, I assume, rule from the bench, and there are a lot of important cases that have somehow or another involved Judge Boasberg, who's inserted himself into some of these instances. Do you think that there's evidence on? Do we have does this provide the necessary piece of context to explain some of Judge Boasberg's other actions?
Well, I do think that it's important context to keep in mind when you conclude or look at what Judge Boasberg did later, which was ruled that there was probable cause that the Trump administration had committed criminal contempt by not returning the aliens that had already been flown out of the United States prior to Judge Boasberg entering a ruling. And when he did that and found the probable cause, I actually commented on X at the time that he seems, from the hearing, to be hell-bent on finding that the Trump administration is in contempt. And if you go in with a predisposition that the Trump administration is going to ignore your order, it's going to be a lot harder when the Trump administration comes in and says, look, this is what you ordered. We followed that. You didn't order us to turn the planes around. That was something you said in court, but you said, I'm going to come up with a written order. We followed your written order. Your written order didn't tell us we had to do it. It said we couldn't remove them. They had already been removed. Was the Trump administration playing cute with the words? Yeah. And you know why? Because words have meaning, and when a court enters an order, that is what the president has to obey, not some unsaid secret intent, but the actual words. And I also think it's important to keep in mind here, this is Judge Boasberg concerned that Trump is not going to obey the rules when Judge Boasberg didn't obey the rules. He didn't have jurisdiction over this case. It was a habeas case. It never should have been before him. He knew it shouldn't have been before him when he took control of it over the weekend, and the Supreme Court later entered an order saying it never should have been before him. So there's some pretty rich irony in the situation as well.
Margot, this is Ryan. Has there been much of a change since the Supreme Court, whether it's this case or others, since the Supreme Court issues its order against nationwide injunctions? Has that changed the way these are playing out?
It hasn't yet because of two factors, or I should say three factors. One is that ruling about nationwide injunctions did not consider injunctions under the Administrative Procedures Act. And that statute is what many of these lawsuits have been brought under. And that statute actually has some specific language that allows for district judges to throw out administrative actions. And if you throw out the administrative action, that really does have a nationwide impact. So that's one reason it hasn't had an impact. A second reason is because we've had some quick class actions certified, and those on their own have some problems. And then a third reason is we've had judges who have parties such as states or nonprofit organizations who said, well, the only way we can actually protect or give a remedy to these individuals is by entering a very broad injunction, something the Supreme Court recognized is occasionally appropriate. So it hasn't had great impact, but we are also fairly early in the process, and a lot of the cases have been brought under other grounds that are frankly frivolous as well.
We're speaking with Margot Cleveland, an honor to have her on the show with us to talk about the legal analysis of a lot of what is taking place right now. The politics around it, it's usually what people discuss and make kind of rash decisions on. But when you get to the legalese behind it, it's great to have a voice like yours, Margot, with us, a senior legal correspondent at The Federalist. I wanted to ask you before we let you go, the news from Tulsi Gabbard released Friday about the information that she has uncovered and is declassifying that suggests or is evidence to the fact that Barack Obama directed the intelligence community to redo a report on their findings of collusion between Donald Trump and Russia. Initially, they find none. And my understanding of the situation is that Barack Obama says, nope, that's not good enough. Do it again and give me what I want. And then, we're in July of 2025, and there are still people who believe that Donald Trump colluded with Russia. From your understanding and legal expertise, Is this going to have legs where we're actually going to see investigations that do result in charges?
So I do think that we are going to see investigations that result in charges. It's already reported that Brennan and Comey have been referred, and we're already seeing that the conspiracy is much broader than the two. Conspiracy goes all the way up to Obama. I actually wrote a piece a couple weeks past after Ratcliffe released his CIA report that had all the fingers pointing to Obama as leading this. And then I have a piece from yesterday that looked at what Gabbard had released on Friday that also points out that Obama had directed the assessment of Russia's interference in the election on a Monday, and by Friday, the CIA intelligence agents had pulled a presidential briefing that was within hours of being released. And had that been released, it would have gone to President Trump or President-elect Trump and his team. So I think that all the fingers point to Trump. We, believe it or not, a decade later, are still learning about all of the corruption that was going on at the time. And I do think that it is going to result in some criminal charges. Whether that results in criminal convictions, I don't know. But what I would say to your listeners is we are the accountability. We already held them accountable by reelecting Donald Trump. And history will be the accountability whether or not these men and women ever end up in jail.
Margot, do you have confidence in the Department of Justice, the Attorney General, the FBI to get to the bottom of these stories, to go all the way to make sure that they have a full, complete story? Do you think that we have the right people for the job?
I do, and I think it goes beyond the DOJ. I have been extremely happy with CIA Director Ratcliffe. I think that he is doing a lot behind the scenes that we are going to learn in the future. I think that Chuck Grassley, as much as people are like, oh, you're going to send another letter, every letter he sends drops breadcrumbs and more details. He had two releases yesterday that reveal more of it. We now see DNI Director Gabbard doing it. Trump learned from the first time how deep the corruption was. He's gotten rid of a lot of those people, and the people he has put in place are making sure that this comes out and that there is a full airing.
Margot Cleveland, thank you for being with us. We loved having you on. We hope you'll come back. We know there'll be plenty to discuss. Each day is a new day. So thank you for your time today. We look forward to talking to you again, hopefully.
Oh, thanks so much, Annie.
Take care. Bye-bye. She is the senior legal correspondent at The Federalist. And, you know, when it comes to old-fashioned journalism and putting together articles that have lots of facts in them. Brad printed this off for me. This was something that we booked her on last week. And this is like the judges thing is old news and it's 6 days old. Like that's how fast this news cycle is working. And you need people like Margot Cleveland out there who are journalists who have this legal expertise to know the questions to ask, the places to look. So it's kind of fun to have Mike Davis there giving her a shout out. She was on Newsmax when he with that clip I played.
You really need to tune in to a station, I don't know, like 97.1 every day from, 5 a.m. to about 11 p.m.
4:59 a.m. Just don't sleep.
Well, I'm not saying you can't sleep. I'm saying when you're awake, you have to listen to it.
We love having you here. You can stream us on the Odyssey app as well. If the signal ever goes in and out for whatever particular reason, crystal clear, AUDACY, download it, find 97.1 FM Talk. You can follow the Annie Fry Show there as well. Quick break. Head over to the YouTube channel. You can watch us there as well, of course, but we want you to vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Grade the first 6 months of Trump's second term. We'll be right back. The Dittamore Group, oh gosh, these are wonderful people. They were in, they were 2 weeks ago for X's and O's, right? 2 weeks, I think. And the Dittamore Group, they understand the relationship part of buying and selling a home. You have to work with somebody who you are going to like to see. And if you've not bought or sold real estate, and I think most of you probably have, you understand the value of going, if Tammy said it, I trust it. If Zach said it, I trust it. If Pat and Abby and Tricia are guiding me this way, I trust them. And that's why the Dittamore Group has had as much success as they have. They're the number one team and the number one office in the Metro East with RE/MAX Alliance, and people trust them, and they return to them. They bounce things off of them because they are trustworthy people, and they are experts, the experts at real estate. In Missouri and Illinois alike, you can reach out to them at 618-531-4652, 618-531-4652. That's the number to call Tammy directly and connect yourself with the Dittamore Group. You'll be glad you did. You can start the conversation right now, zero obligation to follow through immediately or in any amount of time. Just talk to people you can trust online at thedittamore.com.
Have you been notified that your subsidy for Obamacare health insurance is going away? Well, you can leave now while you are still healthy and can qualify for much better individual plans. Greg Hammonds at greghammonds.com has been helping people get affordable health insurance with great coverage for over 35 years. Greg offers private health insurance plans that are not on the ACA marketplace. You can pick your doctors. For most claims, you won't even pay a deductible, and they're 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. One more thing, there's no tax penalty at the end of the year. Greg even has plans that are guaranteed acceptance. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan by you, not the government.
We are asking you today to grade the first 6 months of Trump's second term. We're just past 6 months of Trump's second term. So we're asking you, is it an A, is it B, C, D, or F? Let us know what you think. We'll give you the results at the end of the show as usual. It is 12:36, and this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Built on backbone, not buzzwords. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis conservative.
How long could you have talked to Margot Cleveland about what she knows about the Russia stuff?
Yeah, I could have gone another 10 minutes with her easy.
I want to say to these smart people, these people who are smarter than me, what are the big red flags? Like, get all of the stuff that matters, but isn't the big meat of the meal here? What is it? And I want to just let them talk forever. We'll just have to have him back. Will Chamberlain is going to be on with us at 1:30, so we're going to bring this up again with him. And I'm interested in the mood from legal people as much. Okay, we can read the evidence, we can watch the news, watch the reports or whatever, but do these people have a little bit of pep in their step, a little extra energy because of what is being declassified?
Yeah,
I feel like there is a little bit of energy.
I do too. I keep looking at this and saying the new information, because you said this yesterday at the top of the show, the new information that they have, because so much of this is just the same thing that we've talked about for 10 years. But the new information,
10 years.
Yes, is that it goes directly to Barack Obama and that they can prove it with a paper trail, that he framed the next president of the United States. That's a big deal. And we didn't know if we'd ever get that evidence.
It's super frustrating to me, though, also, that this stuff was happening while Trump was the president. Now, Trump was inexperienced. He was the outsider. With being an outsider comes inexperience. That's a trade-off that you can't scoop. But we had, I remember when Bill Barr got put in, I was like, let's go. Like, this is the guy. He wasn't the guy.
No, he wasn't the guy.
I don't know that he was, there's something, it seems like the people who are those who we can rely on and trust, it seems like there's something that they get to a certain point and they go, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because it kind of seems like you got to figuratively blow the whole thing up, and that the consequence is going to be that they feel like the consequence of blowing it up is worse than the current situation. Like maybe you can weed the garden from within and people don't have to come in and see how messy it got. I don't think that's where we are anymore. I think that it's so obvious how much the American people have been lied to. It really is very key to speak to the specific things that we've been lied to about. Otherwise, my mind runs wild thinking about all of the other things that could be true, which you got to think that if you can think of 10 things, 10 conspiracies or storylines or investigations, things that happened, if you can think of 10, I'm wondering if all 10 are true, but maybe 3 of them are. And I need to not waste time and energy and suspicion on the other 7 things. I want to know the truth. And I don't, as a civilian, need to know every single unredacted detail, because that's going to expose things, methods, people that you can't have that kind of collateral damage. But we have to be positioned in a way that the American people can trust that the government is working for us and not for their self-perpetuation.
Yeah. You and I have approached 2020 differently, and the election. I think both of us have had our suspicions, but both approached it carefully. You know, we're on the air. We got to be careful with what we're sharing and making sure that we're sharing facts and not fiction. But I've said for a long time that the only way you're really going to find out whether anything truly was big and nefarious, because there's always stuff, but was there a big coordinated movement to steal an election? The only way you're really going to find that out is if you have a whistleblower who's going to tell you from behind the scenes, this is how that happened. And I think we're getting to the point now where there's such hard evidence, not about that, but about this stuff with Obama and the Russia collusion hoax, and it goes so high up. I mean, to the President of the United States, Barack Obama.
I thought you said Russia collusion Hulk, but that kind of tracks.
I almost did. That when you start to unravel that ball of twine, I think you are going to have whistleblowers that come out of this who are going to say, wow, this is a big deal. You really do have us here, because it's pretty airtight. That maybe if there's anything else, and I'm not saying there is, but if there's other things, this could be how you find out the other things.
I look at the cast of characters who have been implicated, like the big names, and I'm trying to think of if any of those would be willing to flip. I don't think any of them will.
Mm-hmm. Not the ones we know. No, they're too embedded.
Here's, before we wrap here, this is another thing that President Trump said from the Oval Office today, and he uses the T word. Let's listen into his answer to the question.
Target as part of their investigation. What specific figures in the Obama administration?
Well, based on what I read, and I read pretty much what you read, it would be President Obama. He started it. And Biden was there with him, and Comey was there, and Clapper, the whole group was there. Brennan, they were all there in a room right here. This was the room. This is much more beautiful than it was then, but that's okay. I have nice pictures up. They came out of the vaults. They were in there for 100 years. This is much more beautiful. We have the Declaration of Independence now in the room, which wasn't here. I guess people didn't feel too good about putting it here, but I do. But you know what? If you look at those papers, they have them stone cold, and it was President Obama. It wasn't lots of people all over the place. It was them too. But the leader of the gang was President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? And except for the fact that he gets shielded by the press for his entire life, that's the one they... Look, he's guilty. It's not a question. You know, I like to say, let's give it time. It's there. He's guilty. This was treason. This was every word you can think of.
Treason, he says. If I were Donald Trump, I think I'd feel the same way. Because they criticized him of that in the 2016 election, of stealing the election. And then in 2020, balls up in the air a bit, as to whether or not that was an honest election. And then in 2024, he wins, shocks the world again, and now the other side's saying, well, he stole it. This record's got a scratch in it, and we keep repeating the same thing over and over and again, but each of those different elections have very different details. But it seems as though the number one goal of the FBI and of the DOJ is to root out every little squirrely rat that they can find and then get to business. And I do wonder, Epstein files included, when they get to business, when they see what's actually there and it's not being guarded anymore, how much of it is corrupt? Tell the American people, though. Now, you might not, you can't just come out and be like, well, they messed with all the Epstein files. Because in court, I think that you could question the validity of any of the files that might be brought against anybody. So you can't come out and say that, I suppose. But transparency, I'm more interested in transparency and truth so that we can know who was responsible for what when than like some low-level person getting an orange jumpsuit. Barack Obama, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know emotionally what it will feel like if, and I don't think it's going to happen if he were to be arrested.
I don't either.
When I said yesterday that I would just giggle with glee watching Adam Schiff get walked out.
They might get him on something else.
Yeah, mortgage fraud.
Yeah.
That's already happened. But I mean, I'll admit, sinfully relish that moment. But for Obama to be arrested, that would be such a pivot point in American history that's still, like, for us to get to the point where that is something that is in play to be true, it makes me uneasy.
The amazing thing about it is that Comey, Brennan, Clapper, Obama, those four, there's pictures of them all sitting there with General Flynn. That's what's so weird. So he was not a part of that group. That there is still a paper trail.
Yeah.
Because they've tried to doctor a lot of things, but they weren't able to completely cover it up.
Help us grade the president's 6 months of his second term. Let us know what you think. Annie Fry YouTube channel. Wiggins America next. Stewart's American Mortgage. He's the guy who has the bagel loan. What is a bagel loan? Why do I keep talking about it? A bagel loan is a mortgage that you're going to get for a new home purchase. Maybe it's a mortgage you're going to get because you're refinancing the one you have right now. You're doing a cash out refinance of the mortgage you have right now. You go through the process to get a mortgage. You get to the end of it. You pay your closing costs. You got your new mortgage. Well, just skip the closing cost part. That's what the bagel loan is. It's a smart move. I love hearing from my friends and family who I find out later on down the road, like, oh, they worked with Stewie. This is somebody who I use personally and have used twice. It's somebody that my family members and friends have used as well. I stand by every word as a client of Stewart's. When you work with him, you're working with somebody who's honest, who's going to give you the best information and the best deal. And if you're trying to purchase a home, you are going to be put in a position to be one of the most competitive buyers there. You can have a super fast close. You can push out the middleman when you work directly with Stewie, and you don't have those closing costs at the end. 314-324-4440, Google Bagel Loan, NMLS number 226715.
Let's show our appreciation for local heroes. Mark Cox here. Nominate a first responder and their department could get lunch from Grill Master Tony's. I'll personally deliver it. Share their story at 971talk.com. Nominate them today.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one who lives with you. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care, helping you with preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more.
A family member or friend that gets paid weekly. This Medicaid program is available to eligible St. Louis residents.
New to Medicaid? The Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 7,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. If you live in the St. Louis area,
this service is available through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers can choose to get paid weekly. So go to freedomcare.com now, or for faster service, call 314-697-4912. 314-697-4912. That's 314-697-4912.
With conviction and clarity, The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
It's that time of day for Wiggins America. It's a lot of self-help, and that's today. We just think that you need help. So thank you for tuning in and bettering yourself. This is from Reader's Digest.
That's not
You
presumptuous
just always
at all.
have a way with words, don't you?
Yeah, people come here to find out how to live their life better.
What I have here for all of you, including the room, is how to navigate rude questions.
All right.
So the question will first be, do you think this is a rude question? And if so, how do you navigate it? So the first one is, when's the baby due?
Oh, gosh.
Now, I've been told...
Is there any context to that question?
No, not really. Just when's the baby due?
You're in an elevator and someone walks in and pop that question.
I will say that if you are not pregnant, that's a very rude question.
Correct. That's what I'm asking. Is there any understanding that that question is being asked?
It's a dangerous game.
Putting that aside, though, putting the idea that you are just a little overweight aside.
So this question to a pregnant woman.
To a pregnant woman.
Yes.
Is that actually an offensive question?
You shouldn't ask as the only person in here who has ever been pregnant.
Speak for yourself.
As the only person in here who has ever been pregnant.
She was a pregnant person.
Nope, absolutely not. I was a woman and...
Still are.
I could give you the details.
Ryan, how far along are you?
Thank you.
That's rude. See, thank you for highlighting.
Got it.
The advice that I have is there's nothing that unless you're a personal friend, you don't need, I wouldn't even comment on it.
What about a work colleague?
Especially a work colleague.
But they would know whether you're pregnant. So it's not a question of whether you are or not.
Well, for the sake of this question, we're assuming that the pregnancy is a known quantity.
Yes.
Because if you don't know they're pregnant, you never say anything to anyone about their pregnancy that you're not sure exists.
Right.
I mean, I think you have to be more than coworkers.
Coworkers with benefits.
Wait, I don't.
Okay, so yes, if you're the father of the child.
I don't understand.
Don't go see Coldplay.
I don't get what the potential harm is if you know that they're pregnant. Just to know, like, how far along are you?
Here's what happens. How far along are you? Oh, I'm due. I'm 6 months along, and then you go, oh.
Yeah, but
I don't get it.
You're curious. You just want to know.
No, because in your mind, you thought that they looked like they were closer than that. Then she hears that you think that she looks big.
I mean,
if you say, oh.
I know.
This is so dumb.
This is why you don't say anything.
That's why you don't say
Do you
anything.
care more about staying out of trouble and not hurting someone's feelings, or do you care more about knowing the facts when this baby is due?
I guess why can't it just be the excitement of when are you going to be a mom?
Because you're thinking, oh my God, Ethan.
I like this.
Because that's not how it works for a woman who's carrying a baby who...
No, I get that. It's just,
an emotional
it's just
thing.
funny.
Because also, if you say to somebody, when are you due? And you say, oh, I'm 8 months along. And then someone says to you, oh my gosh, you don't look like you're that far along at all. Now they're wondering if it's, do I understand that if you've never been in the position to have your body be wrecked by pregnancy the way I have 4 times, the way a lot of people have, all you're doing is thinking these thoughts, and you are not yours any longer. You are carrying the life of a new human being, and you've given yourself over to do all of that. It's magical and amazing, yes, but that's not the way some women feel during that time. And what you are doing intentionally is completely caring. You're interested, you care about the person, but the way that it can be received, and I would say it's at least 50% of the time that however you respond to that answer, yeah, holy crap, you're huge for 4 months along.
Oh, God, Trisha probably hates me from last year.
It's not just from that. Just kidding. No, and I mean, every relationship is different. If you're working, I would consider the 4 of us in here to maybe be a little bit in a situation where we talk about our lives all the time because we have to professionally. That might be different, but pregnancy is just, it's a very treacherous road when you're talking to someone. I don't know. People listening might be like, that's not it.
Guess I'm learning things.
I just want to highlight that there are dozens of these, and we got through one.
Kevin says, I find it insulting when asked how far along I am in my pregnancy, but I'm a dude with a gut.
Kevin, do you have longer hair? Because if you cut it short, maybe. The front of this article, I want to point out, though, before we run out of time, is assume good intent and act from that place.
Yes. But I will add to that, you can assume the good intent, but that doesn't necessarily take away the little voice in your head that's like, am I doing this right? Let's do more later.
Okay.
You want to do that? How about
kind of stole that whole segment.
Sorry,
Ryan.
No, there's tons of these. There are tons of these.
The takeaway here is Ethan saying, pregnant women, get it together.
I'm looking forward to reading the ones that are actually very rude.
Okay, we'll get to them. Keep it right here. We're going to speak in the next hour with Jim Carafano and Will Chamberlain. A lot to discuss. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon, along with Bob and Tammy Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Tuesday, August 5th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Here are Bob and Tammy with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired? Do you have your personalized income plan in place? Would you like to learn why linking to the market is much safer than owning the market? And how in 39 years we have never lost a penny of our clients' money?
Would you like to learn how to automatically lock in your market gains every year without having to sell? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any future losses? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, at the Frontenac Hilton, Tuesday, August 5th at 6:30. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Home Shield Foundation Repair, add an S to that. That's the website, homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com. Leveling out that concrete that is a trip hazard at your home. It's maybe gotten worse over the course of years, maybe months. Something happened and it caused the concrete to shift. It cracked, but then time causes it to become uneven. And that's an eyesore, but also a safety hazard. You have a phone call to make to get the best possible cost-effective solution to level this out. 314-227-9636. 314-227-9636. Certainly, if this is at your business, if you're somebody who is running the office and you know that there's a trip hazard there, you want to make sure that you rectify this so that you don't have something, some sort of litigation end up popping up because you didn't handle it. You can call them for residential issues and for commercial issues as well. They will use polyjacking to level out that concrete and you will have no more problems. 314-227-9636. 314-227-9636. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Everyone needs to have at least one person in their corner in life. When you don't, it's an extremely lonely and frightening place to be. But knowing you have that one person gives you peace and hope. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Since 1988, myself and my firm have been in so many corners for so many clients for so many years. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason, and it's not even close. We fought like hell for you. We fight the bullies, automobile insurance companies, the makers of unsafe products, medical providers who injured or killed their own patients. It has been such an honor and made my life complete. If you ever need us, it's easy. On your mobile device or computer, visit forthepeople.com, and then we get to work 24/7. Whether you're hurt in a car crash, injured on the job, or have questions about your Social Security, we're here for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
A new trade deal. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump just announcing a deal with the Philippines, calling President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. a tough negotiator and highly respected, as he did earlier during an Oval Office meeting, where he also faced questions about the Philippines making deals with China.
We're getting along with China very well, and I don't mind if the president dealt with China, if that's meant, because I think he has to do what's right for his country. I've always said, make the Philippines great again. Do whatever you need to do, but you're dealing with China wouldn't bother me at all.
President Trump says under the new trade deal, the Philippines will have an open market with zero tariffs for the U.S. and will pay a 19% tariff. That's 1 point less than what was supposed to kick in August 1st. President Trump calling for serious consequences for former President Obama and other U.S. officials stemming from 2016 Russian election interference probes.
The president's director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, released previously classified documents she says is evidence of treasonous conspiracy by senior government officials and is referring that evidence to the Justice Department. But former intelligence officials have questioned Gabbard's conclusions, suggesting the release lacks context and overlooks findings of several congressional and special counsel investigations.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. This as the Trump administration continues to face claims of a possible cover-up in the probe of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, who died while awaiting a trafficking trial. The president calls cover-up claims a witch hunt. A House oversight panel now approving a motion to subpoena Epstein's convicted co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell for a deposition. A deputy attorney general already announcing a new effort to meet with her, which President Trump says today he thinks would be appropriate. America is listening to Fox News.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Several days of hardcore summer on the way. The extreme heat warning goes through at least Thursday. Partly sunny, hot, and humid this afternoon. We'll watch for a spot storm. 97, 77 for the overnight low. Wednesday and Thursday, partly sunny, hot, and humid. 99 each day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there'll be a bit of an increase in scattered thunderstorms, but still in the 90s. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. If you need a new air conditioner installed this summer, call a company you can trust to install your AC properly. That will get your home cool and comfortable fast. For a free estimate on a new air conditioner, visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. You. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your table? Who do you think washes your dishes? Who do you think does your garden? Who do you think is here by the sheer just grit and will that they figured out a way to get here because they thought that they could give themselves and their family a better chance. And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the criminals?
Well, other than having a very, very foul mouth, Hunter Biden, everybody wanted to know what he was thinking today. And his response to not deporting people who are here illegally is a racist tirade, F-word laden tirade in who's going to clean your house if we deport all of the illegals. I mean, I don't think that you're supposed to say those types of things. It's kind of boxing an entire group of people in, isn't it? Well, Hunter Biden doesn't seem to care about that or anything else. But the president's efforts to continue the deportation process that he promised he would do during the campaign is underway. And we've talked so much about this with our friend Jim Carafano over the course of years. He's a senior counselor to the president and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. Jim, welcome back to the show. The deportation process is in overdrive right now with this administration. I wanted to know your thoughts on, you can talk about Hunter Biden if you like, but the efforts that this administration has had so far.
Well, first of all, if you actually look at the data, all we're really seeing is upsides here. So the added security at the border, taking people with terrorist watch lists out of the country, real wages going up, employment being steady. Decreasing crime rates in places. It's almost impossible to find a downside here, unless it's a downside maybe for criminals and gangs and stuff. But you know, the real issue that look, and you know me, I'm not a partisan political person. I'm a Democrat, not a Republican, right? But what's the real panic button is, you know, the census measures everybody that's in a district, and then it apportions congressional seats based on that. You know, we've tried for many years to say, look, we should only be counting people who are legally in the United States in this, because when you're apportioning congressional districts, you're apportioning it to voters, not to illegal aliens. So what's happening is people are seeing they're losing population in their districts, which are going to lose them congressional seats and lose them Democratic seats. So it's not about the guys washing your dishes and picking your lettuce. It's about Democrats, actually, states like California and New York, losing muscle in the House of Representatives, because when the population reflects legal citizens as opposed to illegal people, then the blue states are not going to do as well.
Do you feel as though the intention to let people in here, is it something that developed over time? Like, okay, people were coming here, then they saw the political side of this, saw a use for them, and then they had a president who was not very present, and they kicked the door wide open. Do you think they made this up as they go, or was this a nefarious plan that's been laid in since the beginning?
Well, I think there's a bit of both. I definitely think that because if we kind of flash back, 20, 30 years ago, after 9/11, part of the way the Democrats got out of the doghouse American politics is they had to be tougher on Homeland Security Republicans. So Pelosi was screaming that we weren't really securing the border and we weren't doing enough for border security, and then gradually Democrats just completely walked away from that. And I think the reason for that is they saw a political path to seize and hold power that maybe wasn't apparent to them, and it became kind of a political agenda to not just to differentiate themselves from Republicans, but essentially to hold on to political power. Add to that the George Soros factor in the Open Society. George Soros, from day one, his goal has been to create a right to migrate and to destroy the power and authority of the state by overwhelming countries and then saying, well, the only way we can do this is to cede this to global authority. So it is this confluence of money with a deliberate political agenda, essentially to create this one world nonsense, which is a real thing. It's really true. They really believe that. And the Democratic thing of this is a way to power and authority. So, for example, it's, maybe I'm flooding the state with illegal aliens. Maybe I'm bankrupting local communities. Maybe I'm overwhelming school districts. Maybe I'm putting hospitals out of business. But you know what? I'm making tons of money for NGOs to relocate these people, and that money's filling our coffers, and I'm getting all these grants, and that's cycling back into my family. So it was a money-making Ponzi scheme. So, which is what about power is all about. You know, the people that want this communist Marxist future for the most for the United States, the people that are most committed to that are the people that said this will secure the power and authority of myself and my family forever, which is kind of ironic, right?
You know, Jim, when I'm thinking about the way the illegal immigration issue has really come to a head, and President Trump, definitely build the wall was a huge part of his first term as president. So he's been on this for a decade now. We had a Biden era there in the middle that blew the whole thing out of control, even more so than it was before the prior term when Donald Trump was already campaigning on we need to do something about this. So it got a lot worse there in that 4-year middle ground. All of this to try to change the course of American history, to throw power to one side. We know now from this weekend, the release of information from Tulsi Gabbard, that Barack Obama willfully and directly tried to change an intelligence report to hurt the incoming president of the United States. Now, we can look at threats that take place all over the globe, and I know that you're very well versed on those, but it seems like there's a lot of stuff on the home front right now that this administration has to focus on to make sure that we are a secure nation.
I believe that the left has come out of the post 9/11 period with the belief that we can never relinquish political power again, no matter what's required, what we have to do. That we can never let go. We can never let the other side have political power again. I just believe that they are committed to that, and they became gradually more overt and careless and brazen and outrageous in the last couple of years. And honestly, I'm kind of thankful for people like Hunter Biden, because if they hadn't been so unbelievably in their face about this before they managed to lock in political power forever, people would have never woken up to this. And I can only, quote the world's greatest philosopher in the movie Tropic Thunder, which is, dude, never go full retard. I mean, the Democratic Party, they jumped the shark, jumping over the shark. And it was literally like slapping Americans in the face and say, look, wake up and see what we're doing to your country. Because if they hadn't done that, I think they could have got away with this. Because our system is trusting in the end.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we actually believe that people are going to respect the Constitution and the law. And we're shocked and stunned that they're just a mafia.
Yeah, we were talking, I did a poll yesterday. It's like, do you think Barack Obama is ever going to be arrested? I don't really think that's likely. But I'm also sitting here thinking that if what he did is if what the evidence says that he did, I mean, that's maybe the biggest controversy in American history, that you would try to subvert a president that way and redirect intelligence assets, so on and so forth. But I was saying, even though I want to see everybody who is guilty here get their comeuppance, it would be disturbing to see an event like that unfold where the people who did participate in this are actually getting the consequences of their actions delivered.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a lawyer and certainly not a prosecutor, so I don't know how this ends. But I will tell you, I tweeted the other day, and I don't have the world's biggest follower on X, so let's not go there. But I just texted out. I said, what Obama did is worse than Watergate. Within 24 hours, 1.7 million people, viewed that post. I actually think that in the not too distant future, when they write the history books, Barack Obama will have seen as committed the greatest public crimes of a president, eclipsing by a large measure what Richard Nixon did.
We have the right. Do you have confidence that the right people are in the right positions right now to see that through?
I think the American people, have. I think they've seen. Look at. We've done things in the last 6 months that literally were unthinkable for generations. Like any conservative would put defunding the Department of Education on their Christmas list, or cutting off money for NPR and public broadcasting. Those things not only happened. I mean, in an incredible 6 months, we went from 0, to 100 miles an hour on these issues. So I think that we are down this path. We are walking down the yellow brick road, my friend.
We're happy to do it with you, Jim Carafano. We appreciate your time today and look forward to checking back with you very frequently, because I do recommend people follow you on X at JJ Carafano. I enjoy when you tweet, I read. I'll just put it that way. Jim, thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Talk to you soon.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye. Jim Carafano is Senior Counselor to the President and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. You remember when I was saying just a little bit before on the show that when I talk to people about this, I'm kind of like gauging their mood? It's not so much the details, because we have the details, but what's the mood? Kind of into Jim Carafano's mood on this particular story. Well, all right, let's take a break. Will Chamberlain's going to be with us at 1:30, and we got a couple things to talk about with him. Specifically, I'm going to ask him about the president's efforts when it comes to immigration. There are some discussions that are taking place right now about, the deportees. Is there anybody who should be allowed to stay here? Should they all go? I've polled you on this on the YouTube poll before, and y'all were pretty resolved in if you're here illegally, you need to leave. Maybe there's a way you come back if you self-deport, but if you're here illegally, you need to leave. There's some suggestions out there on how to let some people stay. I'm going to ask Will Chamberlain about that, but I'm also going to ask him what kind of teeth he thinks the information coming out of Tulsi Gabbard's office might have regarding the Russian hoax. Go to the YouTube live chat poll. Grade the first 6 months of Trump's second term. We'll be right back.
Take off all your preppy clothes. You know you're not fooling anyone when you become somebody else. And everyone else, you're watching your back like you can't relax. You're trying to be cool, you look like a fool to me. Tell me why you had to go and make things so complicated. I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else, gets me frustrated.
Point Pest Control. You go to pointpestcontrol.com. That's point with an E. And get rid of your bugs and your critters and all that stuff. If you are kind of thinking that, gosh, we can try some home remedy, go to the store, the department store down the road, get some bug bombs or something. When I found some, I think that they were wolf spiders. Blah. I don't know. The death kind to me. But I'm afraid of all of them. Found some of those in our house. Here's what I did. And this was 2 or 3 Novembers ago. We immediately went to the store, bought all the bug bombs, blew the house up with these bug bombs, but I was calling Point Pest Control. I'm like, come over now. And that's when I started using them. And guess what? It took until maybe a month or two ago to see our next spider. So I've been on a quarterly service plan with Point Pest Control. They have kept us bug-free with such great confidence. I saw another one, had them come out, and we haven't seen any spiders since then. But if I do see one, I'll call them back and they will come treat it for me. 636-798-0023. 636-798-0023 is the number to call. And be sure to mention the Annie Fry Show to get an extra 10% off the best deal that they have going. You mention my name, you're going to get a little extra. Online at pointpestcontrol.com.
The heat's really been extreme last week or so. I have a wife that's going through change of life, and she woke me up at 3 a.m. and said there's something wrong with the air conditioner. I checked the thermostat, and it's set at 66, and it is saying 66. Like we set it every single night. I said, okay, how do you feel? She goes, okay, well, as long as it's 66. And then within 2 minutes, all the covers are back on her, and she says she is freezing. I said, honey, the air conditioner isn't broke. Your thermostat is broke. So if you're living that way, my advice is this. I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but here's what I do. I keep my laughter inside. It is real what they're feeling. You don't need to call me. You can say you called me, but you don't need to call me. Save your money. This is Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. God bless.
Speeding while driving gives you less time to react. Another car could turn out in front of you. A pedestrian could be walking their dog. Follow the speed limit to keep them safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Live, local, and conservative. It's the Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
So, a little bit of game change there with the music coming into this segment. TMZ is reporting that British rock star Ozzy Osbourne has died at age 76 years old. That iconic laugh at the beginning of that, is that Ozzy Osbourne doing that laugh?
Yeah, that's him.
Are you an Ozzy Osbourne fan?
Yeah, I am. I can't say I've ever bought a Black Sabbath album and really went nuts, but every time I hear it, I'm like, yeah, it's a good song.
He's such an interesting character. Like, the success that he has had over his career is undeniable. Like, everybody knows Ozzy Osbourne. You don't have to be somebody who is into Black Sabbath. And I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't have been able to come up with Black Sabbath in connection to Ozzy Osbourne. But, of course, everybody knows and has heard of Black Sabbath, but everybody knows Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. Iron Man is one of their famous songs. I was never a part of this, but apparently there's a legend in my family that my uncle, when a lot of my cousins were younger, I think I barely missed the boat here. I think I was just a little too young. He would turn off all the lights in their house in Caseyville and tell the kids to go hide. And then he'd play Iron Man loudly.
To go find him?
Throughout the whole house. And he would just walk around the house stomping.
That's
and going,
intense.
I am Iron Man. And looking for the kid. And the kids would never hide. They'd just jump out and go, you found me! You found me!
That's a great story.
Yeah. And that song, I always think about that when I hear that song.
Yeah.
It's such a good song, too. You don't hear that one as much.
Most people have really sentimental family memories when it comes to Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath.
Yeah, they do. They do.
But
It's a family rocker.
To the extent that Ozzy Osbourne has had a successful career, that that kind of story exists. Because it's just, I think he's in the Hall of Fame 2 times. I just talked not long ago, about the podcast that the Osbourne family does. They talked about Donald Trump. And it popped up in my algorithm in my YouTube feed, and I was like, well, I kind of want to know what they have to say about it. And some of them very reluctantly were incredibly flattering of Donald Trump. It was like, you could tell they're like, I know this isn't popular, but I don't have anything bad to say about him. He's great. Not something that needs to be said. Not a conversation that they have to have publicly. They don't have to do that, but they did. And I remember the interesting thing about Ozzy on that episode, and somebody made a comment like, it's kind of amazing that he made it this far. He's done some drugs, yes? He's done all the drugs.
I would think so.
Ozzy said regarding President Trump that when he met him, he was so flattered at how kind President Trump was. And Ozzy goes, I was shocked that he knew who I was. And the family's like, Dad,
you're
Ozzy Osbourne. You're the most famous rocker ever. And I don't know that could be argued with. I'm certainly not the one who could fight that fight one way or the other. But he definitely is iconic. And I hate the word iconic.
Yeah, he is, though. 76 years old. So he just, I think within the last week or two, just played what he said was going to be his last show. So they must have known that he was pretty close. But just the ability to still get out there and do a show within 2 weeks of your death. As I understand it, he just sat in a comically large chair like a throne and sang his songs because he couldn't really walk around. But that's fast for having done your last show that quick.
Was he Christian?
I've heard.
I feel like he was, but I don't know if I'm just willing that to be true. I didn't study Ozzy Osbourne today, so I only know the basics. But I know more about. If you listen to the show with any regularity, you know how much I don't know about this stuff, and I do know a little bit about him.
There are reports that he had a George Harrison type conversion later in life, that he came to Christ. Don't really know, but there are people who were in his life who would say, yeah, we talked to him about Jesus, but I don't know what that means for him.
I think we'll find out within the next, I was going to say 48 hours, but it might be the next 3 hours.
Yeah.
The New York Post reports Ozzy Osbourne, the legendary Prince of Darkness and one of heavy metal's most iconic stars, has died. He was 76. He died, quote, surrounded by love. His family said in a statement to The Sun on Tuesday, quote, it is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. He was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time. Sharon, Jack, Kelly, Amy, and Lewis. News of Osbourne's death comes more than 5 years after he announced his Parkinson's disease diagnosis in January of 2020. What a time to come out with a Parkinson's diagnosis.
Yeah.
Do you know what his real name is?
No.
John Michael. What a normal name.
Oh, John Michael Osbourne.
Yeah. Born in Birmingham, England, December 3rd, 1948. He got his nickname Ozzy in primary school. Can you imagine giving a kid a nickname Ozzy? Ozzy, I guess, is short from Osbourne, obviously. And then turning it into what we know Ozzy Osbourne to be now.
Man, I'm looking at pictures right now of him in Black Sabbath. There is no decade like the 70s when it comes to fashion.
What were you people doing in the 70s?
It's amazing. And the other thing I was randomly thinking about the other day is that, so we're 90s kids. We were listening to music in the 90s a lot. If you heard a song from 20 years before, let's say 1997, you heard a song from 1977, it sounded very different from what we were listening to at that moment. Or
from
you can go
when
back 10 years. Really, yeah, no matter, like in 1990, late 90s, if you went back 20 years and listened to a song from the late 70s, you would know that is a different era of music.
Yeah.
Now, if you go backward from 2025 to 2005, I can live with my kids, listen to a song, and they have no clue whether it was made yesterday or 20 years ago. Music has not progressed, in my opinion.
There is some Christian hip hop that my son likes to listen to, and when I let him listen to it, I don't care. There is a way I love 90s hip hop and rap. It just feels like home to me. It's so cozy. It's also filthy. What were we doing listening to this stuff growing up? But I
Except
know.
for Skee-Lo.
What is
Wish I was a little bit
taller? Wish I was a baller. Yes, okay.
That's clean.
Not clean music.
Mostly.
That we were listening to. But then you listen to the 70s and you're like, this is just not very clean.
It was just hidden a little better.
Yes, but the message was still the same. When you're oh gosh, I don't want to be here, but I'm a parent who's like, I don't know if the music is not offensive in message, but the rap is so just like mumbling. I'm like, what's in your mouth? Spit it out and then say the words. Rap and hip hop right now, it's just so mush mouth. And I seem like I'm a 90-year-old when I say it. I listen to it'll be playing in my son's room, and I'm just like, I hate this music.
So
and it's Christian music. It's Christian rap. I don't know. And they're not all like that.
Yeah, it's certain artists.
But that is very much so in tone with what rap music is. It's just mumbling.
So there are differences. I guess you're right. There are differences in styles a little bit now versus then. But for the most part, if you hear a pop song, it would be really hard to discern that was not made 20 years ago.
Yeah.
At least when I listen to it with my kids, they have no bearing on whether this is a new or old song.
All right, let's take a quick break. Will Chamberlain going to be with us as soon as we come back. It's going to be a really quick break, and we're going to talk to him about the immigration. We hear Tom Homan saying we're going in hard to those sanctuary cities. Of course, my state of Illinois can't get anything right. I love that Tom Homan's targeting in on here. Is there some idea that needs to be put in place right now that maybe the good illegal immigrants should be able to stay? Will Chamberlain's going to talk to us about that, and hopefully we can work in a question as well about Tulsi Gabbard's evidence that she's revealed to us as well. Let's take a quick break. Real quick. We'll be right back. Michael's Flooring Outlet online at igotfloor.com. Shopping for flooring for your residence, for your commercial business. Either way, you want to care about buying something that's quality. You're not looking for the cheapest cheap thing that you can find. You want the best value and the top quality that you can find. And I'm happy to tell you right here, family-owned and operated business in St. Louis, Michael's Flooring Outlet for decades has been providing people just like you with the flooring that you've been looking for. They have all the options, the different types of hardwood, the things that look like hardwood, the luxury vinyl plank, the Techwood Plus line. If you're looking for carpet, I'm a huge fan of carpet in my home, in the cozy spaces. It makes a house a home to me. You can check out the Mohawk Smart Strand line of carpeting as well there, or whatever you're looking for, tile, vinyl, I don't care. It's up to you. They've got it, and they've got the best value around. Shop a local business, one that supports us here. We're happy to support them at Michael's Flooring Outlet, and we're grateful to be able to bring you together with the great people at Michael's. You can find them at any of their 3 locations across St. Louis. You can also find them, get a request submit, check out their products online at igotfloor.com.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Where common sense rules the mic. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Give me your attention, baby. I gotta tell you a little something about yourself.
We give them dignity. At some point in the future, another legislator will write another law to give them path to citizenship. Right now, what we need to do is to buy peace for these people, allow them to stay, to continue working, because they're needed. You see, it's what I'm trying to do is to bring some common sense, which is the least common of all senses, to this conversation. The economy needs them. They do not have a criminal record. They have not gone into trouble. They have been here for a long time. They have roots in the country. Let them stay. Don't give them any type of federal programs. And allow them to pay taxes, help the Social Security Fund, and let them stay and contribute with the economy with no criminal record. What is wrong with that?
Well, I think we're going to talk about that right now. That's the Florida GOP Representative Maria Salazar. Here's the part about this that I don't 100% understand. She's like, let's bring some common sense to this discussion. I think we got to have a common poll of the American people in November, and we did bring some sense to this country based on this very important issue of illegal immigration that is Joe Biden and the Democrats Party's fault that we're facing what we're facing right now. Yes, we probably need to figure out how to improve our immigration system. I don't know if this is exactly the solution we need. Let's ask our friend Will Chamberlain about it. He is the senior counsel at the Article 3 Project. Follow on X at Will Chamberlain. Representative Maria Salazar there says we can have some common sense and give these people dignity. What do you think, Will?
That sounds like nonsense, actually, instead of common sense. She is proposing an amnesty bill. She's pretending it's not amnesty because, like others who are trying to advocate for amnesty, she takes a very, very cramped view of what constitutes amnesty. So in this case, it's if giving full citizenship to illegal aliens immediately, you're not doing amnesty. Well, that's what she is doing that. It's a full-on stop on deportation of non-criminal aliens who came in before the Biden administration took power. So if you were here in December 2020, you get to stay if you're not a criminal. If you came here before you entered at the age of 18, you get to become a citizen. After, you get a 7-year layoff that is renewable. And as she described in the very clip that you pointed out there, she is hoping that ultimately results in citizenship from another bill in the future. But she's just trying to keep these people here until they can eventually get citizenship. It's not even, it's like that Scalia line. You know, we talk about a wolf coming in sheep's clothing. This is a wolf dressed as a wolf. It's just obviously amnesty.
Yeah, I feel like this is the question. This is the answer to the question that people are not actually asking, especially in the Republican Party. I feel like, and I don't know enough about it to offer the solutions, that I bet our immigration system can be refined a bit, maybe to make sure that we are giving the right people the opportunity to come here. We've heard President Trump advocating for such things. But I think that the answer that the American people want, and it seemed like my recollection on the polling was that it was a pretty bipartisan response. If you came here and you came here illegally, you should go home. And then maybe there's a pathway to come back, especially if you self-deport.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of pretending that the last 12 year didn't happen, that Trump didn't win the election and that we didn't pass the big, beautiful bill to massively increase funding for enforcing border security and immigration. She's pretending that we need all this border security stuff when we got almost everything we wanted in the big, beautiful bill. And then we're doing the bipartisan immigration reform game. Well, in exchange for the border security, we get amnesty. We don't need to do any of that. And it's obvious what the goal is if you're proposing something like that. The goal isn't to secure the border. The goal is amnesty, which the American people have decisively voted to reject. So I'm shocked to find that she managed to get a single Republican co-sponsor for this bill. I've been spending the last week or so bullying those people and making them, hear from their constituents about what they really think. Because if the American people have spoken anything loudly and clearly, I mean, at the RNC last year, people were holding signs saying mass deportations now. President Trump promised repeatedly on the campaign trail the largest mass deportation operation in history. This bill would freeze it for 24 months for anybody who's been here longer than 4.5 years.
Yeah, I just feel like we've been pretty clear. The campaign was very clear on what they wanted to do, and the American people resoundingly said, we'll choose that. Will Chamberlain speaking with us right now. I do want to talk to you a little bit about the Tulsi Gabbard stuff, but before we do, particularly of interest, I work in St. Louis in Missouri, but I live across the river in Illinois, born and raised, family farm. People tell me to leave. I get it, but that's where my home is. And we're a sanctuary state. And of course, Chicago is a sanctuary city. And a lot of tug and pull has happened between sanctuary states and ICE and Tom Homan. Tom Homan has come out and said, we're flooding the zone. We're going into these sanctuary areas. And if you're not going to let us make these arrests safely in prisons, then we're going to have to go into the communities where these people are and do it there and flood the zone. You think that's the right response from ICE for these uncooperative states and cities?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's a lot of options that the federal government has. In LA, one of the things they're doing that's really smart is instead of just issuing a detainer request based on the fact that somebody's an illegal alien, you actually charge them with the crime, the relevant crime of illegal crossing or illegal presence. And then the state government or the local government, even if they have a sanctuary policy, that sanctuary policy doesn't let them ignore judicial warrants. It allows them to ignore detainer requests, but not judicial warrants for federal crimes that were committed. So there's a lot of ways that the federal government can overcome state and local resistance, and they should use all of them. And I think they intend to use all of them.
You know, I don't know if you're familiar with the story specifically, but I believe it was in the Chicago area. We have the Safety Act here in the state of Illinois, and it basically is like cashless bail. You can not be held. And this person who had committed heinous violent crimes was not able to be held after he was charged with all of these crimes. He got out and he murdered somebody. He's an illegal immigrant. These stories are way too common. If it happens once, we should ensure that it never happens again. Is there winning over these sanctuary states to where that policy can change? I don't even understand 100% why it's legal to begin with, that sanctuary status.
Cashless bail is one of those things that unsolved a problem that Western civilization has solved for 1,000 years. Bail's been around since, early medieval times in England, because the problem of figuring out what to do with a criminal defendant who has yet to be convicted but might pose a danger to the public or might not show up in court was solved by bail 1,000 years ago by judges and lawyers at the time. The idea that, some idiot from with a social work degree from UIUC is going to suddenly know better than the entire corpus of Western law is ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, it just shows how far gone Chicago in particular is, but how far gone these criminal justice activists are. And I mean, it's really sad, and that local and state governments would do this to their populations. But it's not a surprise why people keep fleeing Illinois. And it really, I mean, the people who are hardest done by are exactly the people who are in places like rural southern Illinois, which is a deeply conservative area, but it's just politically overwhelmed by the population center in super hard left Chicago.
Yeah, and those polling numbers of how people feel about illegal immigration can even be reflected and felt in places like the state of Illinois, because all you need is 22% of Cook County and you'll get a red statewide official elected. It's trended towards Trump, but redistricting and all of that stuff, gerrymandering, I should say, has kept that from happening. I do want to ask you about Tulsi Gabbard and what she has released. And I kind of teased this before. I said, when I talk to people like you, Will, who have the legal expertise to comb through all of this and give us the meat of the meal here, what happened over the weekend? What has Tulsi Gabbard given us that is the big substance that is new to the story of the Russia hoax, the Obama administration, and Donald Trump?
It's the proof that the original intelligence assessments by the intelligence community about Russia's involvement in trying to meddle with the election using hacking, that the intelligence community assessed they didn't do that and they had no intention of doing that. And then the other insight is that after the famous principals meeting and after a bunch of meetings after Trump won, there was direction from the very top to put out a completely different intelligence assessment that, flip that around as a 180, not from Russia has no intention and cannot do this to Russia might well have, or we assess that Russia could easily have done this and Russia wanted to.
And when you say the very top.
Yeah, and a very, very top, Clapper, Brennan, all the way up to Obama, probably. Although that's not as crystal clear. But what that suggests is that a deliberate attempt to fabricate an intelligence document, not merely put out misinformation, but to concoct something that just wasn't true and they knew wasn't true. And ultimately that all that material ended up in DOJ, and triggering the Mueller investigation. So that's why people are talking about criminal prosecutions here. That's conspiracy against rights. If you work with others using corrupt means, right, fabrication of intelligence material would be corrupt means to try and deprive someone of their liberty, that's a conspiracy against rights.
I don't know if you have this list to roll off the top of your head, but the Russia hoax was peddled during the election, Donald Trump and Hillary, that it was something that was thrown off thrown out there to get voters off the scent and to move them away from trusting Trump, so on and so forth. And then the instance you're talking about right now happens, my recollection is in December, after President Trump has been elected. Obama directs, the top directs this intelligence report to be redone to contain a narrative that they need. From that moment on, the American media, the agenda-driven media, ate that up and fed that to the rest of the American people as if this was fact. How many things that happened during Donald Trump's first term, his presidency, including impeachment, had a toe dipped in, well, he colluded with Russia? I mean, it was the whole term, wasn't it?
Most of it. I mean, it runs all the way through his first term, all the way through the Ukraine impeachment, because it's thematically coming from that Russia narrative, and it's a domino effect that runs through his administration, and people forget how hamstrung the first Trump administration was by the Mueller investigation, how much of a nightmare that was for Trump aides on the campaign, for Trump officials in the administration. That's all caused by this subversion from the Obama administration at the end of their term. It's really shocking. It's still something that's hard to wrap your head around, and it's easy. It's a long time ago at this point. This is 9 years ago now. 9 years ago, actually. It's 2025. Right. So we're dealing with decade-old stuff, but it's remarkable how that, there's just, even now, it's the same narratives, the same kind of attacks. They still call him a Russian agent, like the crazy left-wingers, based on manufactured nonsense.
I appreciate that they still do, because you can identify exactly where they're coming from immediately when they go to that Russian agent storyline. It's like, wow, I just think you're dumb, honestly, at this point, to think that I'm going to be this stupid. But is my understanding correct when I put together that the Obama shift on that intelligence assessment that was done that said this cyber stuff did not happen with Russia, it wasn't there, that he says, nope, I need a story that says it did, and I need Trump connected to it, that also was downstream from a Steele dossier that kind of gave energy towards this sort of inappropriate Russia relationship, which the intelligence community knew the whole time they were utilizing that to spy on Trump's campaign. They knew that it was a fabricated political hit job, and they used it anyway to hurt Donald Trump.
Yeah, and they weren't using it before this meeting, and then afterwards they were effectively ordered to use it. It's really a deep shame in our country. It's one of the most dramatic things. And I don't know who pointed this out, but, there's been a slew of distinct scandals, misinformation scandals from the White House that you could probably identify 3 of them in the last decade: Russiagate, COVID origins, and Biden's health, right? Biden's mental acuity. And, for all the talk about Democrats wanting to control social media to prevent the spread of disinformation, can you think of 3 bigger levels of, top high-grade dishonesty from a government than those 3? I mean, literally saying our billionaire real estate magnate, your president, was a Russian agent. The virus that came out of the very city where there's a state level 4 virology lab was actually of natural origin and not funded by the American government. Oh, and Biden, at 82 while stumbling all over the place, was actually at the peak of his cognitive ability. All these scandals, all these just massive efforts to deceive the public came from the Democrat Party and from their governance. And at the same time, they have the audacity to suggest that, we need to suppress these social media sites because they're feeding misinformation to the public. Insane.
Last question for you, Will, because I think it's important to highlight, too, in the midst of all of this fabricated, this disinformation, misinformation that has come from the Democrat Party. Apparently, they had no policy that was interesting enough to the American people to get their votes. They had to lie and deceive and manipulate the entire time. Everything that's been lobbed against Donald Trump, it's all bounced off of him. It's only made him stronger over the course of time. The restraint, actually, that Donald Trump has shown, everybody talks about mean tweets. I think if mean tweets is as bad as it got, I don't think there's somebody who's shown more restraint than Donald Trump over the course of this
he has been very restrained, indeed. He's been very, in the grand scheme of things, the overwhelming force that was wielded against him is not one that he's ever wielded against anybody else. He's perfectly willing to insult you, but he's actually always been fairly cautious in terms of what he's tried to order the DOJ to do.
Yeah. That's certainly, and he speaks very much so about staying out of it right now and letting the FBI and Bondi do the things that they need to do. Will, we are always grateful for your time. Thank you for being with us again today.
Thanks for having me, Annie.
Take care. Bye-bye. Will Chamberlain is a senior counsel at the Article 3 Project at Will Chamberlain on X. He is a must-follow. Go check him out. Very level-headed, and I appreciate his take every single time. Article3project.org as well. Quick break. Ryan, get back in here. We are going to maybe do a little Wiggins America extended when we come back. He's going to tell us how to answer rude questions politely. Don't go away.
Oh, girl, I'm gonna show you when you're mine, oh, mine.
RulerFoods.com. Saving money is important to me every time I have the opportunity to do that. So Ruler Foods, they earn the Fry family business, that's for sure. RulerFoods.com. If you are looking on a little more information about locations, sales, what they stand for, what they are, yeah, you can find it all there. It's a website, rulerfoods.com. They are by Kroger, which means when you shop at Ruler Foods, you can get name brands that you love, of course. They have them there. But you can also enjoy Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices, which is fantastic. Right now, if you hurry today, you can save on Kroger 80% lean ground beef. It's a $4.49 a pound in a 3-pound roll. You can enjoy Armor Lunch Makers, Smart Way fruit snacks, 10 for $10. Fill up that cart with some easy meals and solutions for snacks for those kids during the summer months. You can also, if you would prefer, get some delicious fresh produce, blueberries, blackberries, or raspberries, just 2 for $5. Ruler Foods has low prices, and they are guaranteeing every time you go there that you're going to enjoy those low prices. You can find your closest Ruler Foods by putting your zip code in at rulerfoods.com.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Join me July 28th at Old Hickory Golf Club for the Missouri Republican PAC's first annual golf tournament benefiting Senator Adam Schnelting. Teams and individual golfers are welcome. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-355-8282. That's 800-355-8282. Again, that's 800-355-8282.
The YouTube live chat poll today is asking you to grade the first 6 months of Trump's second term. You only have 4 options because we only have 4 options. A, B/C, that's one, and then D or F. It's going to make it hard, isn't it? So let us know what you think. We'll give you the results in about an hour. It is 1:52 now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Now, back to the Annie Fry Show.
So you were saying
Real
in
talk.
Wiggins America, you were talking about how to answer rude questions politely, and we only got to one, which was, how far along are you?
How far along are you?
And Ethan's like, what does it matter if I ask that question and I intended to be nice? I don't care what pregnant women think.
That seems like kind of a paraphrase.
Oh, here he is. I was summoning him.
That is not what I said.
That's not what he said. It's kind of what he said.
Words in my mouth.
You were saying if you are well-intended, why can't it be received that way?
I just didn't get it.
What he's saying is, why do we walk on eggshells all the time? Everybody just wants to be friendly, being nice. They notice somebody's pregnant. They want to know when you're going to have a baby.
Thought this was the point of Trump getting back in office. We didn't have to deal with this crap anymore.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
What?
Yeah.
Now we can finally talk to pregnant women the way we men want to.
Yeah, blank your feelings.
Yeah.
We are so back.
Oh, my gosh. No, I'm not pregnant. Stop asking me if I'm pregnant, people in the chat.
That's rude. We just learned that.
Come on, guys.
You can't ask if someone's pregnant. You can assume they are and then ask how far along they are.
Such a disaster.
The next rude
Maybe we should do a
question.
man on the street video where Ethan just walks up to random people and asks them pregnancy questions. And then we'll see if he changes his mind.
Ask everybody how far along they are.
You should be like,
not get assaulted.
You should walk up to someone and be like, you seem like a Trump supporter. How far along are you? Just see how it goes.
Unrelated questions, but
Not according to Ethan.
Would that be considered manslaughter if I die?
I think no. Okay.
man's laughter.
Anywho.
The next rude question that you could ask, and again, I'm like, I don't know here. When's the wedding? Rude question?
Ethan, you're the most recently married here.
I don't understand the big deal about asking someone when's their wedding.
How long did you date lovely Mrs. Hannaford?
A year and a half?
How long did you know her before then?
A year and a half, 2 years.
Before you started dating?
I probably knew her for 2 years. Yeah.
Did people ever ask you that before you were engaged?
Oh, yeah.
Was it kind of annoying?
Not entirely. My church has a tendency for like people get married very quickly at my church. It's like once you know, bam. Like a year.
I don't have a problem with that.
A year and a half of dating and a year of engagement was kind of, for some people at my church, considered a long time.
Just want to say thank you to Jackie, who says, Annie, you're not even showing. Thank you. Go ahead.
That seems like a rude thing to say, though.
I trust Jackie meant it nicely.
I do too, but
I don't know. Knowing kind of how a lot of people at my church are, I kind of expected it. So it was. I don't know. I didn't think it was that.
When's
big of a
the wedding? Assuming that there's not an engagement already in play. When's the wedding? Sounds different to a guy traditionally than it would be to a girl. Like for a girl, I'd be like, I don't know. Whenever he decides to actually do something about it, and for a guy, I'd be like, I don't. Back off. Leave me alone. I'll know when it's time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that question can maybe even make guys be a little more freaked out about it if they're just a little like, I know she's the right one, but I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The repeated question might feel like the walls are coming in.
Yeah, that wasn't a concern for me. I was ready to get married. I would have gotten married sooner if it was up to me.
Isn't it worse if you ask the couple together than it is if you ask one at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you better.
Because then they're looking at each other and they're having that conversation in their minds without being able to communicate the sides to one another.
Yes. But ultimately, if it is a one-on-one question, the worst it could be is a mild nuisance.
Ryan, how long did you date Katie?
We dated on and off for a long time. But the time right before we got married, it was only about 6 months.
And you proposed?
Mm-hmm.
And how long was the engagement?
9 months. I mean, we got married really fast. But we had known each other for quite a while.
9 months isn't really fast.
Well,
that's like the shortest amount of not fast.
I guess so.
We'll do a few more of these when we come back. Stick around. The YouTube live chat poll: grade the first 6 months of President Trump's second term. 224 votes so far. One of these options is definitely losing. Let's take a quick break. Back in a minute.
This year, fuel prices have been a bit of a roller coaster. Here in St. Louis, drivers finally have some relief at the pump. But when it comes to groceries and food, it's still pretty bumpy out there. Well, you know what can make your ride smoother? The Upside app. With Upside, you can earn an average 8% cash back on grocery or restaurant purchases and up to 25 cents per gallon on gas, which means there's money to be earned even when fuel prices are low. There are hundreds of nearby locations like Schnucks, Burger King, Arby's, and Taco Bell. Download the app and see why millions of Upside users have racked up almost $1 billion in cash back earned. For a limited time, get a 10% bonus on your first purchase with promo code STL11. That's promo code STL11 for an extra 10% cash back bonus. With Upside, you can roll up to a nearby grocery store, restaurant, or gas station and coast straight to cash back earnings. Don't forget to use promo code STL11. Upside. Cashback smarter. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
The Retirement Advisory Group, we're having another event. It's kind of like a little party for you because retirement is coming, and that's like a party the whole time if you prepare right, isn't it? If you are thinking about retiring, if you're 59 and a half or older especially, that's like a magic age, 59 and a half, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free, and that protects your nest egg from future losses, and they know how to tell you to do that. If you want to learn what the Retirement Advisory can do specifically for you folks who have retirement in view, maybe it's a few years, maybe you're ready to retire yesterday, Either way, this is a free event, and I would love to meet you there. I'll be there starting at 6 o'clock, but the event starts at 6:30, so get there early if you want to meet me. I would certainly love to meet you. You do have to reserve your spot, though. 314-993-9494. Get a seat reserved. Bring your friend. Bring some friends with you who might be interested. And go to, on Tuesday, August 5th, the Frontenac Hilton. Again, the event starts at 6:30. I'll get there at 6, and we'd love to have you. 314-993-9494. RetirementKey.com.
Let's just face it, right? Your home should work for you, not against you. Hi, it's Kim, and if you've been dreaming of a new kitchen, bathroom, or a finished basement, now's the time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design. They're St. Louis's trusted experts in turning houses into dream homes. Just imagine this, a spa-like bathroom, maybe a chef-inspired kitchen, or how about a cozy basement perfect for some movie nights? Their team handles everything from design to installation, so you can just sit back and enjoy the process. Visit lakesidearty.com today to start your dream renovation.
Men, need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peter's does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
An iconic rock star is gone. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. We're just getting word Ozzy Osbourne has died. The heavy metal pioneer and original Black Sabbath singer was 76. He had Parkinson's disease and had stepped away from touring, but performed a farewell show just a few weeks ago, sitting on a throne with the original Black Sabbath lineup.
His family released a statement saying, "It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. He was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time." Sharon, Jack, Kelly, Amy, and Louie.
Fox's Jeff Paul.
Really hard to put into words what he meant to not just heavy metal music and rock music, but just music in general. I mean, I can remember when I bought my first copy of a Black Sabbath album, Paranoid, and I just played that record nonstop. Really hard to believe he's not with us anymore.
Ozzy Osbourne's final show was in his hometown, Birmingham, England, July 5th. Again, he was 76. President Trump just announcing what he calls a big and important win in his lawsuit over a 60 Minutes interview with former Vice President Kamala Harris. The president says CBS parent company Paramount paid $16 million today as part of a settlement, with more expected. The network has denied trying to help Harris through editing. The president keeping up pressure on the Fed chief to lower interest rates.
He's got it wrong. That's why I call him too late. T-O-O, too late. And it's really too bad. But it is affecting people that want to buy houses.
He says the administration's considering removing the capital gains tax on home sales. Fire officials in Massachusetts say the presence of medical oxygen contributed to the spread of the deadly fire at an assisted living facility earlier this month. However, they're still investigating the cause. America is listening to Fox News.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Several days of hardcore summer on the way. The extreme heat warning goes through at least Thursday. Partly sunny, hot, and humid this afternoon.
We'll watch for a spot storm 97, 77 for the overnight low. Wednesday and Thursday, partly sunny, hot and humid, 99 each day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there'll be a bit of an increase in scattered thunderstorms, but still in the 90s. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show Live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for HVAC services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Who was it we were just talking to about Alina Habba? I think it was Ryan Schmelz that we were talking to about Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries is the minority leader in the House of Representatives, and he inserted himself into that New Jersey trial, the New Jersey trial that had to do with Representative McIver. Representative McIver is the lady who tried to fistfight her way into an immigration holding facility, maybe, but was putting her hands all over ICE agents. And they're like, you can't do that. And she's like, you're right. Yeah, I can too. I'm a congresswoman. And they're like, because you're a congresswoman, you could have made an appointment and you would have gotten it. But you chose this route. You can't do that. Nobody can. What's the phrase? No one is above the law. And that whole situation went in front of a grand jury. They decided to levy an indictment. So a Democrat from New Jersey, representative, is under indictment. And the attorney that is prosecuting that is Alina Habba. Alina Habba is somebody who, if you don't know that name off the top of your head, if you saw her, you'd certainly recognize her. She has been an integral part in Donald Trump's legal team and legal advice pre-election and now in New Jersey. And what Hakeem Jeffries was saying, she's serving in this capacity as a prosecutor, as a district attorney, temporarily, and she was up to be approved to be made permanent. Well, Hakeem Jeffries said because his Democrat representative was under indictment by her, he's like, this is a sham, shouldn't be happening. Mind you, the trial is live. It's active. It's happening right now. The minority leader says, you know what we can do? Let's get that group of judges who is going to vote to confirm her, to make her permanent. Let's just say, get her out of there. Make it so she can't have that position anymore. Fox News has just reported that interim U.S. Attorney Alina Habba's future as the top prosecutor in the District of New Jersey was thrust into uncertainty Tuesday after district court judges voted against keeping her in the role. Those Democrats, there are 17 of those on that panel. 15 of them are appointed by Biden or Democrat presidents. So a little bit of a bias there. Yes, they've got to be appointed by somebody, but they definitely lean heavily to one side based on the individual who appointed them. Fox News reports Habba's 120-day term was set to expire, and after convening behind closed doors Monday to consider extending her term, the judges voted to replace her with Desiree Grace, a career attorney and Habba's top assistant. Grace will take over the post temporarily beginning Tuesday, according to a court order. Habba, who served as President Donald Trump's personal lawyer and legal spokeswoman during his campaign, stirred controversy soon after she ascended to U.S. attorney. Fox News reports she had Newark's Democratic Mayor Ross Baraka arrested in May for allegedly trespassing in an immigration detention facility, but Habba quickly dropped those charges, and a judge scolded her for the move, suggesting she was attempting to, quote, satisfy public clamor. Baraka is now suing Habba for defamation. So this is a interesting turn of events. It seems as though this panel has the right to do what they did. The question is it politically motivated? And this is where I get, if it was politically motivated, then what? They're going to remove those judges from their posts? No. This is why having presidents in a position to appoint these judges that are going to be constitutional judges is always key, because these are lifetime appointments. So Hava will not continue on the job. I am fairly certain that President Trump will have another place to put her.
Yes.
She'll have to be confirmed, I suppose.
Yep. And we're running out of time before the August recess. So let's get a move on.
Ryan, when are you due?
That is rude. And I will not answer that question as a man who cannot be pregnant. But I will tell you,
things have changed, Ryan.
There are some other rude questions.
This is the longest Wiggins America we've ever done.
I love it. We should just keep doing it right through tomorrow.
Okay. How about Thursday?
Okay. Let's do it right through Thursday. Every segment.
Wiggins America, we're all just listening in it.
It's paradise. How about this question? This one I would consider to be one of the rudest questions you could possibly get.
Is this a question that people ask?
Yes.
Okay.
It just happened to me when I was at Dude Perfect at Family Arena.
Wait, what?
Can I please cut in line?
Have
you ever been asked that?
You think this is one of the rudest questions?
Yes, it is one of the rudest questions possible, because you feel like there must be some reason why you, above all other people, need to cut in line.
What if there is?
Why? I would ask why, and that's what I did in this very situation.
And their answer was?
I want to see the Dude Perfect guy standing right there. And I was like, not good enough reason, buddy. It was a kid.
Can I cut in line?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Have you ever been asked to cut in line, or, can I squeeze in here?
I've asked to cut in line before when my kid has to pee and the line at the bathroom is super long.
That's good reason.
And I'm always like, I completely understand if this is not okay, but I'm going to ask, can I get her into the bathroom faster than this? And then everybody is always like, yes.
The problem is, no matter how nice you are about that question, the person you're talking to is the only one who can give you access to that spot in line.
No,
Every single person behind them, they don't get to have a say.
I wouldn't. That's not true. They absolutely get to have a say. You're cutting in front of everybody. You're not cutting in front of just one person. Everybody has to wait one more person.
Right.
You say it to the group.
You say it to everybody there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just talking to the one person.
No.
Well, good for you.
If I were to do that and everybody but one person, if one person decided to throw a hissy fit about it, I would probably assess the situation to be like, is this person being just a jerk, or do they have a good reason? But if the vibe, if there's a bunch of people, the one time I did that the most recently was coming home from Hawaii. I did 2 or 3 potty checks before it was going to be time to get in line to start boarding. The flight attendant at the door starts doing her thing, and one daughter goes, "Mom, I have to go potty." And I was almost like, pee your pants. No, because I worked hard. I paid for business select tickets so that we would be in the top people, because it's a long flight, and I wanted to make sure our family could sit in together in a appropriate place. And if you're in Southwest, if you're not in line, then you're SOL.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran her to the bathroom, and there was a line of people, and I said to the people there, my daughter, I said, we are just about to start boarding. My daughter just said she had to go to the bathroom. Would you mind? And I didn't even finish a sentence. They're like, no, go. So, but it was, the line is here, and I request the group.
You get a free pass if you're in line for something and you already have someone in there to just jump in with them. Is that free pass? Or do you
Joining
guys feel
as
like
opposed to cutting?
Yeah, do you feel like that is a necessity to ask still, or do you just kind of do it and avoid eye contact?
Kind of depends on the situation.
Yeah, that's tough. I can tell you what, whenever somebody does that,
you're like, really?
I mean, if it's not a big...
If it's like one person, okay.
If you're waiting an hour...
Like 6 people.
To get on a roller coaster, and somebody comes up halfway through it, and you're like... Or if it's one person, less of a concern. If it's 4 people joining the one person who is standing there, I don't know.
What if the person holding the place in line was holding the place in line because somebody else had to go potty again?
That's always possible. That's why I don't say anything.
The best thing to do, in my opinion, and this is something I've had to teach myself because I am a rule follower and I like rule followers, and I do not like people who don't follow rules. I've realized many times in my life that what I'm doing appears as though I'm breaking the rules, but there may be some context or an exception to my particular circumstance there that looks different than the situation actually is. So I am very active in telling myself to put the best construction on the situation. And if I'm standing in line for a roller coaster trying to have fun, like that person doesn't get to ruin my day. It's not worth it.
That's why I don't do anything about it. Because
It calculates to 45 seconds of lost time. It's not worth it. If I'm standing in line for an hour to ride something and somebody around is using foul language and being just a total jerk about it, I'm saying something. Hey, watch your mouth. There are kids here. Knock it off. And I don't care what happens next after that.
Good for you. Little different situation.
Yeah.
What about in a McDonald's line where there's the 2 places you could go, 2 drive-thrus?
I always pick the wrong one.
Well, that's a fact. You're always going to pick the wrong one.
I try to wait as long as possible to pick a line, which some people probably behind me don't like that because you're supposed to pick.
That's why I'm asking.
I don't think there's anything wrong. You just go to the one that opens up. They can do the same thing, unless there's a huge line.
But that's the question is if there's a long line and it's clear that they're not all on the left or all on the right, can you jump ahead to the one on the right?
It's like the zipper merge.
Can you get ahead of people? Because a lot of people will just choose to stay in line even though there's an opportunity to go ahead.
You don't get to pick which line you go into until the car in front of you is committed.
I think it's kind of every man for himself. You know, I don't even know if I view
Ethan and I are getting in an accident.
A cutting thing. I'm just like, you know what? Like, I want my food, and what are they going to do? Look at me? Like, it's not like you're going to...
You're defining somebody who's rude. You're just saying you don't care.
Maybe I'm rude then, Ryan.
I think you might be rude. I just don't know what the rules are.
I'm asking women how far along they are.
I think that the rule in a situation like that is as soon as the person in front of you is committed, it is now your opportunity to commit.
Sometimes it's
and if you take a
questionable.
little bit longer to commit because you're trying to figure out where to go.
Yeah, as long as you're not cutting anyone off.
Yeah.
Well, because a lot of times people will straddle the line like you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You wait to the last possible second to pick which way to go.
Isn't that what you want to do, though?
That is what you want to do.
Well, then let the people in front of you do
But
that.
sometimes it looks like the person is on one side or the other, and you go around them. So how do you know if they're committed or not? That's my question.
It's one of those you just got to make a decision if you're the person in front, and if your decision-making skills are not timely, then that's on them. That's not on me. Make a decision quicker. You lost your chance.
What's wrong with you, Ryan?
Be better.
Be better.
Be ruder. Is that a word, ruder?
I don't know that I trust. I don't know that I trust your judgment here.
How far along are you?
Here's one more. How old are you? Is that ever appropriate?
There's a point where it stops being appropriate.
Well,
Is it okay with you?
It's not
Yes.
the question as much as it is the reason. If
Okay.
you're having, like, okay, Ethan, if you and I are having a discussion or a debate about things that people know in marriage, and you say something, and I go, "How old are you?" Then it's
Fair.
then I'm implying that you've been married for a year, and I've been married for more than that. I don't know, 17 years, 18 years.
A little more than 2?
Yes, but I've been married more than you. That negates that in that conversation would negate your right to have an opinion. Well, that's not true at all. You've been married. You have your own perspective. You have a right to an opinion. So are you using it to belittle somebody, to make them feel young, to make them feel old? If you're using that as a tactic to negate somebody's contribution to a discussion, then it's never appropriate. But if you're having a conversation about maybe like, say, retirement or something like that. If you're having a conversation about when you might want to retire and you say, oh, well, how old are you now? I mean, if you're, to use Thomas Helbig's advice, 59 and a half, that's apparently a really important age to know in retirement. So if you're like close to that, that might mean something. If you're 45, it makes a difference how old you are when you're having that conversation about what your next move might be. So I think it's kind of, again, intention. If you don't know a lot about the person and you're just throwing out these questions, then you're taking risks.
That's what I do in job interviews.
You ask your boss?
Are you going
How
on
old are
job
you?
interviews?
How far along are you?
Are you going on job interviews?
I can't say. It's one of my pastimes. I don't even want a new job. I just like doing interviews.
On your resume, what does it say you do for this show?
Spitball.
Okay.
Just kind of come in and I just
Professional spitballer.
Yep.
Shockingly honest.
A baller that spits.
Yeah. I mean,
I actually am Annie Fry. Everything she says is what I tell her she should
I type
say.
out Annie's
Except for
show
the dumb things.
at about 11 every day.
You're a great writer.
It's tough though, man. It's a lot
Except
of
for when it
content.
comes to your material.
Oh, thank you very
Annie
much.
writes that.
Thank you very much. Annie writes everything I do. That's my go-to from now on.
I'm going to have to freshen my resume. Quick break. When we come back, sports and local with Ethan. What's it called? We don't know. Where it goes, nobody knows.
We shall see.
We shall see. That's coming up next. And X's and Y's, Trisha's going to come join us at 2:30. What do boys want to know about girls? And what do girls want to know about boys? There are only two genders. We like to talk about them here at 2:30 on Tuesdays. We'll be right back. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Level out that concrete at your home. It's if you're think about your patio deck, or even a pool deck if you're fortunate enough to have one of those. People running around barefoot. Do you run around barefoot at your house a lot? You can't afford to have those trip hazards, stub your toe on concrete. Man, that turns my stomach just thinking about it. Home Shield Foundation Repair is a cost-effective way to resolve that situation. It doesn't involve ripping out the concrete and repouring it. That's super pricey. It involves polyjacking, which is a polyurethane foam, and it gets injected under the concrete and it raises it up and it levels it out. I've even seen these as kind of like ASMR videos on the internet where they show this polyurethane foam being injected under the concrete. It's so satisfying to see it go in and level everything up. It's a really light foam, but it's super strong, and it can level that concrete with minimal disruption to the area around it. Driveways, sidewalks, walkways, garage floors, patios, pool decks, for commercial and residential purposes, Home Shield Foundation Repair is there to help you. Give them a call at 314-227-9636, 314-227-9636. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid residents in need of care at home. If you need assistance with daily activities, you can receive in-home care from a loved one that lives with you and they get paid. Through Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care at home in St. Louis, and they get paid weekly. Available to eligible Medicaid members in St. Louis. Call now to check your eligibility. It can be your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid. Freedom Care has over 7,000 five-star Google reviews and is a leading choice in St. Louis for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want to receive great care from a loved one, go to freedomcare.com, or for faster service, call 314-597-1749. 314-597-1749. That's 314-597-1749.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial # law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Speeding while driving gives you less time to react. Another car could turn out in front of you. A pedestrian could be walking their dog. Follow the speed limit to keep them safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Family focused, faith filled, always on point. It's the Annie Fry Show.
vegetables, dog food stall.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
Hannaford's Hospitable Hoedown.
All right. Yeah.
These are listener suggestions.
That's a good
all
one.
week. So
Fits.
yeah, this whole week's going to be all listener suggestions. Next week, I'm going to take the reins back and do the craziest things possible.
Does hoedown have an E in it after the O in hoe?
H-O-E down.
Yeah, it does. Otherwise,
Still
it
does.
looks dirty.
You think the dirty?
I think you got that
It's just
backwards.
H-O? Like
I think so.
Santa Claus?
I think you got that backwards.
I'm pretty sure.
You think
if
Santa
just spell
Claus has
it-
been a filthy old man this whole time?
If you spell it H-O-D-O-W-N, that's a sign that people hold up in the red light district. But if you have,
So I'm in the clear then.
if you have an E, that's a
my
sign that
hoedown.
people put up at like a farm dance.
farm
A
dance.
farm dance.
Is that what Annie grew up going to?
We would
Barn
refer to them as
dances?
barn dances.
Barn dances.
Barn dances.
Yeah, when you have a party in a barn and out in the field, and if you have to go to the bathroom, you
Pop a
don't-
squat on the bumper.
you don't. Well, yeah, sort of.
You're squatting on the bumper. We're not doing
Or you could
this
just go to
again.
the bathroom.
Bumper
I think
pee.
most of them
Ryan,
have bathrooms.
You weren't here for the bumper pee conversation.
But I heard about it.
Did you know what bumper peeing was before that conversation?
He's a
I would-
master at
I would
it.
have figured it out.
Do you sit down to pee in the woods?
I do not, but I do sit down to poop in the woods every day.
Every day.
Yep.
Right out there in the park.
Does a Ryan crap in the woods?
Hey, wait for me, guys.
Had you heard of bumper peeing before that?
I don't know that I'd heard the term, but
I'd be
familiar
curious
with the concept.
if Mrs. Wiggins has heard about it. But
don't know.
You don't answer for her.
She's a
that's
cultured
not fair.
lady. I'm sure she
I know.
has.
She's of the best of us. What do you got? Local and news and sports.
Emo's Pizza has
Yes!
listed its St. Louis headquarters and production facility for sale.
Whoa.
They're St. Louis's downtown west. They're located right now in St. Louis's downtown west neighborhood, and has serves as the headquarters and also houses its production and storage operations. And the property was recently listed online by a commercial real estate platform. The sale would also include a parking lot and a nearby property.
So just the building, just the location in the building.
On Delmar Boulevard, according to the listing.
Where are they going?
It has not, and that's the question, right, that I could not find the answer to.
So what I've heard here is that they want to stay in the location but sell it and just rent their own location.
Have you really heard that?
Yes. I heard
Really?
that. I heard that on the morning show. Kim reported.
Okay, then you found more information or heard more information than I could find. But
Ethan, do you listen to the station?
do I?
Did you even listen this morning?
Only between 5 and 9, and the rest of the time I'm just
Okay.
in one ear out the other.
All right.
It has not been. The price of sale has not been proposed yet, but it is what we're hearing. The appraised value of it is around $3.5 million. And the sellers are seeking an investor for the long term, specifically a 15-year master lease. The company relocated its headquarters to that location in 2016 and expanded the facility in 2022. It is now around 90,000 square feet.
That is an interesting story because I don't know why they're doing it.
What would can you, as
If
a
they
man
wanna-
involved
if-
in this
if
business
they
a little
want
bit,
to
what
stay-
would that be?
Well, if you want to stay there, it's because the reason you'd be doing that is because you need instant capital. But your business is doing well enough that you want to stay where you're at. So that's why I don't really know exactly what the move is.
In a statement, they said that the sale of the underlying real estate will not impact the production and distribution operations of the 95 Emo's Pizza Parlors spread out across Illinois, Missouri, and Kansas.
Kansas has emos?
That's
news to
what
me.
the statement says.
Good for them.
From that was given to Fox 2. So we'll have to see where exactly that goes. Switching to the sports side of the sports and local, Hannaford's Hospitable Hoedown is the name of it today. Florida Panthers forward and St. Louis and Matthew Tkachuk has brought the Stanley Cup back to St. Louis for the second straight year. Of course, the Florida Panthers, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. A very full week for the Tkachuk family. On Saturday, Matthew and his now wife Ellie got married in St. Louis, and just a couple of days later, the Tkachuks had their day with the cup. For those that don't know, I think this is one of the coolest traditions in sports. One of the things that makes the Stanley Cup so unique, and you may remember seeing stuff about this when the Blues won several years ago, is that you only get to keep it for the offseason. Then it goes back to the NHL on the opening night of the season. The same trophy has been getting passed around by teams for over 100 years. And during that offseason where the championship team has it, each member of the team, front office, coaches, they all get their own day with the cup. So, for the second straight year, Matthew Tkachuk brought it back to St. Louis, spent the day at a couple of different spots, went to the Children's Hospital for the second straight year with it, and sick kids there got to hang out with it, got to meet cool. Him and their family, got to take pictures of it. There's some really cool pictures out there.
When he brings it back to St. Louis, does the next guy have to come get it?
I don't think
so.
How
does that work?
There is
they
someone,
hide it and you have to find
there
it.
is someone.
That's kind of fun.
There is someone that stays with the cup. All
White
the time.
gloves.
Yes.
I think I remember
That's
them
their
coming into
job.
the station in 2019.
Yeah.
They brought it
Yeah,
in. and
right, because it was
there
still
there was like a
with Tim
handler.
Boyce, yeah.
So there's somebody with the cup. You can't just go down a water slide with it.
They tend to give him a lot of leeway as to what
Brad's
you
nodding.
can do.
He says you could go down a water slide
There tends
with
to be
it.
a lot of leeway. Now, here's the thing. What a lot of people don't know is there's actually two cups. And the one that they let everyone take around, right, is the one that tends to get dented up from time to time. They got to, do a little work, keeping sure it stays in good shape.
I thought you said it was the same cup for 100 years.
It is the same cup for 100 years. There's two of them.
200-year cups?
No, you make this segment so much harder for me sometimes.
Welcome to my life.
I want to know.
And the cup's just the cup on top. Everything else has just been added on.
There's been all kinds of things done with that cup. Obviously, alcohol constantly being poured into it.
So gross.
There's been, I've seen videos of people eating cereal out of the top of it. They've taken it to all kinds of crazy
Ethan,
places.
what would you do if you won the Stanley Cup? What would your day look like?
Oh, man. I would definitely around family regardless. That's a good question. I'm not, besides it being around family and friends, I don't know what entirely I would do.
Sit there and hug it.
I mean,
I know exactly what I'd do.
I know. So
I don't like the way you said that.
My wife's uncle was.
Fill it with sugar and.
My wife's uncle.
Sorry.
Motorboat that
up in. You guys are so ridiculous.
Yeah, we had to go all the way.
I'm trying to listen here.
You're not doing that very well.
Your wife and your uncle? Your wife's uncle?
My wife's uncle was the principal of someone that won the Stanley Cup. And what they did was they brought it back to their hometown and they just just big old line. Come and get a picture with the cup. And that's what their whole day was. So he got to
So
go
it's
see
really
his
kind of
student.
the way to connect everybody in your life.
That's what a lot of people do.
With it.
Yes.
So it's not like you sit and you play video games and you put one controller in the cup and you sit there with the other. And
No,
share
not
some time.
necessarily. It tends to be a way to connect, like you said, connect yourself, your family, your friends, your community with it. They also took it to O.B. Clark's, one of the top hockey bars in St. Louis. And then they also took it to the Brentwood Police and Fire Departments. There's been some pictures going around of him inside of a jail cell holding up the cup, which is going around a little bit. So always good to have the Stanley Cup back in St. Louis. Let's hope that we're not far away from a St. Louis Blue having it back in St. Louis. So we shall see.
Is that in the cards?
It's
not.
It could be in the mix here. The cup window is opening back up or near opening back up in St. Louis.
That's exciting to hear. All right. Well, stay tuned to more news and sports of the local variety with Ethan's hospitable hoedown.
It was a very nice
Ho
hoedown.
with an E.
With an
Hoedown.
E.
Hoedown with an E.
Except for I'm not really going to go with Ryan's assessment of the word hoe as
Interesting.
gospel. All right, when we come back, X's and Y's. What are your questions? What do boys want to know about girls? What do girls want to know about boys? We get to the very bottom of it. Trisha's going to join us next. Don't go away.
Saving all your food stamps and burning down the trailer park. Yo. Cut it.
Infinite-vitality.com. Gentlemen, I'd like to talk to you. How many times have you heard commercials about low T? I get it. Low testosterone. There's a lot of things. You hit a certain age. Your life kind of slows you down. You got all the same obligations, maybe even more, but it just gets more difficult to make it happen.
Infinite Vitality is a destination that you can go. You can start with a phone call to them so you can get to know them and see how they can help you, things that they can offer you. It starts with taking a blood test and figuring out where your numbers are so that they can know exactly how to target what you need, not just what everybody walking through the door needs. Infinite Vitality in Glen Carbon are incredibly easy to get to. You can call them directly at 618-486-1888, 618-486-1888. Give them a call and ask them about hormone replacement therapy. Ask them about weight loss services. They can help you in a whole lot of ways that can get your life back. Low libido, worry about the amount of time you have to put into the gym for the result that you just don't feel like you're getting anymore compared to what you used to. Infinite Vitality can give you that vitality back. I can speak for it myself. I am so glad that I did this, and I'm encouraging you to give it a chance as well. 618-486-1888, infinite-vitality.com.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Tune in to the All Financial Hour with Steve All, Saturday mornings at 6, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
I'm fixing to tell you something that the insurance industry does not want you to ever hear. Bullies often delay and deny. I see them sitting on premiums paid and making money and dragging it out for as long as they can. Many times, we're forced to take them to court. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Their high-paid lobbyists are on a mission to make sure that at trial, jurors are not allowed to learn that the at-fault party has insurance, and in some cases, lots of it. I can think of no case in all my years where there was no insurance for the at-fault party. So let's fight back. It's all these bullies understand. Tell everybody you know the truth. If you've been injured in a car crash or hurt at a store or business, visit forthepeople.com. We're here 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
The YouTube live chat poll today is grade the first 6 months of Trump's second term. A, B/C makes it really tough on you. D or F, let us know which one of those you would give Trump for the first 6 months of term number 2. It is 2:35. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Consistently right.
It's a ritual.
97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
I get up, I get down, and I'm jumping around. And the rumpus and ruckus are comfortable now. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to grow. So I got an apartment across from the park. Put quinoa in my fridge, still I'm not feeling grown. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to go.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. The YouTube live chat poll, as Ryan just mentioned here, grade the first 6 months of Trump's second term, A, B/C, D, or F. We've got a little X's and Y's here to play. Trisha, welcome back to the studio.
Thanks for having me.
I know this
X's and Y's.
I gotta go change my pants. Holy cow.
What is this segment again?
Oh! Oh my God, I didn't know that was going to happen.
Deep breaths.
I had my headphones too loud for that.
Uh-huh. We all did.
Isn't that the worst?
Oh my goodness. X's and Y's, it's where boys and girls learn about each other.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan?
Speaking of soiling yourself.
Hey, who said soil?
Whoa.
My first question is, does
My heart is racing.
Do
right now.
women worry about stinking up a bathroom? And then I'm going to ask the guys in the room the same question. Because I think guys probably do kind of worry about
Ethan
that.
left.
Come on, Ethan, come back.
Worry?
Do you ever worry that things got a little out of control in there?
I haven't, Trisha.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
It always goes back to
I
that.
worry. So I've done this.
My
to-
questions be like, why is all boys want to talk about is poop? But go on.
I've done this to Annie before. So the bathroom here stinks because there's a sewage line issue. So I'll be.
You need to speak about. I've done this to
Sure.
Annie before.
And so I'll be walking out of the bathroom and Annie's walking, and I'm like, it stinks in there, but it wasn't me.
There's always so much detail.
So you do worry. The answer is yes.
Yes, I started with
Okay.
yes.
All right.
But it wasn't me.
I wouldn't say that I would worry about it, per se.
I worry about it, but it's never me.
The worst, though, I do, where worry does set in, is if you go into a bathroom and it stinks, but there's nobody else in there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I warn you every
And then
time
you
I come
leave,
out. Every single time I
and
leave
you
the
see
bathroom.
somebody coming in, just like Trisha's talking about, you're like, I don't want to have to own this.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're all saying is, yes, you worry about it. No, it's never me.
We're not going to talk a whole lot more about this, but I'm going to say that situation does not come up at work.
Okay. Brad.
Yes,
I don't worry about it at all.
Ethan.
Not really, no. Not that I. Now, here's the thing. When you walk in and it smells terrible, you're like, oh, who the heck would do such a thing?
It wasn't me or Annie. It's just a natural.
Who is disgusting enough
bodily
to
affection,
do
but you're
this?
so offended by the person.
But if it happens to be you, you're like, oh, it is what it is. It's fine. I'm going to go back to
What
work.
can I do about it? I mean, it's all
Ryan?
What can I do about it? It's not my fault. It's just it's biology.
Is that your response to that question?
I just yell out it's biology the whole time I'm going. I don't even know if there's anybody in the bathroom.
You leave the bathroom and you announce it.
Trisha, you got a question?
Yeah. Okay. What is it with men loving to barbecue? The attention to detail, the time commitment. Don't get me wrong. I love good barbecue.
I think the time commitment is the thing. Ethan, do you love to barbecue?
I don't even have a grill yet because I'm in an apartment.
Ethan, why are you less of a man?
I can see myself someday really enjoying it, but I don't know a single thing about it.
Ethan, is there anything that you cook? Like, do you have a meal you prepare?
Yeah.
An Ethan signature dish?
Not to that extent. I mean, I make grilled chicken and like turkey burgers, but I mean, like that's like it's nothing
It's
crazy.
meat, though. What is it with men just cooking meat? One single element of a meal.
I can't speak personally to myself because for me it's just like, okay, I have to have something to eat, and this is just a simple
Just
meal
prefer
here,
meat.
folks. But I mean, I think there is a little bit of the macho. I think to like, I got my grill, this is mine, and I'm about to like make a masterful creation here, and then I'm gonna be able to tell people, yeah, I made this and it was really good.
Ryan, do you
I
have a
think
grill?
there's something in that.
Yeah. To answer the question, there's something very raw about being the guy who's making the meat. It's a guy thing. It really is. And I don't know what it is, but it's very true. I don't even grill that much. But when I do, I'm like, yeah, I get it.
It's like powerful.
It's like, yeah, it's a power
I'm
thing.
providing.
Yes,
protein.
especially if you're making it for other people.
Especially if you killed what you're cooking.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
When
Which
have
I
you-
always do.
With your bare hands.
Yeah, I'm like, I killed this bologna.
Also, depending on what it is, like it's really difficult.
Bologna
too.
was running around the woods and I strangled it.
You grill bologna?
Oh heck yeah, doesn't everybody?
It's a power move.
That might taste good. I don't know.
Could
Yeah.
work. I mean,
Brad?
it's along the lines of what Ryan's saying there, but I think there's also an element of it of like it's just kind of you and the grill and not a whole lot else going on. You get to
You
go
and me,
out.
baby girl.
And so
Everyone
there's,
else is outta here.
there's an element.
Next question.
There's an
Why
element
is your grill
of,
a woman?
I didn't say my grill was a woman. That's
He just
Ethan's.
said.
Yeah.
He just said
There's
it.
just some things that are the opposite sex.
There's
truth.
There's a piece whenever you're doing it. There's like, you grab yourself a drink, you go out there, and
sorry.
it's just kind of quiet, and all the sounds is the sounds of the grill and that sort of thing. So
Yeah, he's got to work his piece.
Brad, you got a question?
Yeah, makeup. I watch girls put makeup on every now and then, and
That's creepy.
yeah, they don't know I'm looking at them. But I've seen my
They
wife
think
putting
it's
makeup.
they think it's a one-way mirror. Brad's like, but I'm trying to learn. I'm not trying to make this weird.
I just don't understand. Like, isn't it uncomfortable to have makeup on your face?
Not if you do it
Can't
right.
you feel it? And like, because my only experience with any sort of makeup is like, third grade Halloween makeup, face paint stuff. Is it like that, or is it like? Because I couldn't stand that stuff.
No, it's not for the most part. Annie kind of alluded to it. If you do it right, no. I don't do a ton of it for that reason, though, because you can get a little extreme with it to where you're like you get your makeup done for an event and then it looks so good, but you're wearing a mask. No, day to day, it's not like that.
And you could like feel it.
Yeah, not day to day.
Okay.
You ever wear eyelashes?
Yes.
That is
For an event. And
takes me like at least 2 hours to not just be like blinking like, gosh, it's like doing bicep curls every time I open my eyes because
But
it
the
just
pictures
feels so
look
heavy.
so
Oh, yeah.
good.
100%. No, I mean, if you're wearing good makeup, you can't really feel it. I don't know. I've never really thought about
Do
it.
guys sometimes think that women are batting their eyes at them when they're actually just trying to keep their eyes open and
In your
having
instance,
a tough time
probably.
when they're wearing eyelashes?
Is it if it's your wife, then maybe not.
I always just assume it when it's
Do you
any
run
woman.
into this problem?
Yeah, all the time. All the events I go to. Oh my gosh.
All the women batting their eyelashes
They're
at
like,
you.
Here's my question for the boys in the room. Do you have the ability to fall asleep on command? Because that seems to be a dude thing. Where, like, if you're tired and you sit down, it doesn't matter where you're sitting, you could take a quick nap.
Nap, not necessarily, but going to sleep at night, instant. I can go to sleep.
You don't sit. I mean, you're probably not spending much time sitting down in the day where you could. I wonder if this is something that comes for men with age. I don't know about like our dads. Like, can they just sit down in a chair and all of a sudden you hear?
It's a gift.
Yeah,
I think it's
maybe.
acquired with age.
But I don't know many women who do that. I don't like women don't get to the point.
That's true.
Maybe more in older age because you have more time to just sit. But I think it's a dude thing. I'm very envious of
I
it.
think they're just thinking about more stuff.
The question that was written, that was sent to me, is there a manual that teaches all of you to say, quote, I'm just resting my eyes? But this fall asleep on command thing, or even not even on command, you don't even know you're doing it. You just sit down and you're like, I'm tired. I'm just going to take a nappy nap.
Probably true. I don't really sit for long periods of time enough to. My life is like a Benny Hill episode.
What?
I just run back and forth down
Can
the hallway.
you just do a quick Benny Hill corn mashup?
Oh, God.
I cannot.
This is the smartest move you've made. So, Ethan, can you fall asleep on command?
No, I'm not good at it.
Brad?
My wife can, though.
No.
She's very good at it.
Man, I'm jealous.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Not at all?
I wish that
Is
I
she
could just fall
narcoleptic?
asleep.
Yeah, she has a condition.
Yes.
Ethan, you got a question?
That would explain it. Go ahead, Annie. I'm still coming up with one.
I just asked one.
You did just ask one.
Ryan, you got another one?
Yeah.
What, you think I got to do all the work here?
Here we go. Is it a guy's job to mow the lawn?
I think men think so.
Women don't think so?
That it's a guy's job?
Yeah.
No. I love cutting grass. If you ever go past my house and I am cutting grass, there is a very reluctant Jared somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Because guys do. I do feel like that's my job. I have to do that.
Does your wife want to do it?
She's okay with doing it, but she doesn't care. I think she's done it once or twice.
I enjoy it. I would like to do it. He doesn't want me to do it. And it's not because I would do a bad job. I can do a fine enough job. Because at this point in our lives, you're probably the same. Like, if you have a window of time in your schedule and the weather to get the grass cut, you got to zip, get that done. I grew up cutting grass at my parents' house, which was tons of grass, like hours of cutting grass. So I like doing it. I like being out in the sun and get a good tan. But you're kind of like making a choice when the lady's out there on the tractor. Do you cut the grass?
Sometimes
Does
it is.
Eddie look at you?
He's
in a way?
happy to let me do it.
Yeah.
I always think I want to do it, then I get out there and I get stung by a bee, or it takes a long time and it's hot and I don't love it. But it's in the division of chores. Like, I clean the bathrooms, he cuts the grass. It does fall under the boy jobs.
Quick Rick says, I like perpetuating the mystery that I'm the only one who can do it, which I think is spot on. What about you, Brad?
I love cutting the grass.
But is it the guy's job?
I don't feel that way. But I will say this: I will feel bad if my wife comes and helps me do it because I don't want her to do it because I know she doesn't like doing it. But I don't think that that's a guy.
That's just because
thing.
you know her.
Yeah, that's a me and Terry thing.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break. We got a few more questions to get to before we get to the ultimate YouTube live chat poll question, which is asking you if you can grade the first 6 months of President Trump's second term. Tell us what you think. We've got a bunch of votes in, but maybe not yours yet. Hustle over to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, leave a vote. And don't forget, you can stream us on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, anywhere, anytime. Find 97.1 FM Talk and the Annie Fry Show on there. We'd love to have you. We'll be right back.
With a 1 or a 2, been a hell of a ride.
Mark Cox doesn't fake it. He's lived it here in St. Louis. Pro-freedom, pro-family, pro-truth. If it matters to Missouri, it matters to Mark. Mark Cox, mornings on 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis conservative.
Mark Cox here. Let me introduce you to my friends at the Lit Cigar Lounge in St. Louis, where luxury meets comfort. Premium hand-rolled cigars, an extensive selection of rare bourbons and whiskeys and craft cocktails. It's comfortable for non-smokers, too. They have a state-of-the-art ventilation system. They have private lockers and live music every Friday night, perfect for date nights or business meetings or just winding down. Visit litstl.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. And you know, your home is your sanctuary. You need to take the first step to peace of mind with a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from the #1 Generac generator dealer in the country, Generator Supercenter. We learned the hard way here in St. Louis during the tornado recently that power can be knocked out. But even outside of that, what if the power grid fails and it's 100 degrees here in St. Louis? You don't want to be that person. Get with Generator Supercenter of St. Louis today. Generator Supercenter of St. Louis.com. Tell them that we sent you along.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Brad's got an X's and Y's question. He's asking questions about girls. What do you got?
Yeah, why are you guys so good at finding stuff? Like
It's maybe just relative.
I think it's an attention thing.
Where's your mind right now?
Huh?
What are you laughing at?
Not that.
What are you
Where's
laughing
yours?
at? I don't know.
Ethan, smack him.
What? I
don't know.
really don't even know what's happening.
Why are you going, Where is your mind right now? What is that?
Because you're laughing at nothing. There's something going on in your brain that nobody's privy to. And I'm asking you to share. Share with the class.
It's the first time that you've ever admitted that you're not privy to what's going on in my brain.
That's
I think men
point
just
of the segment.
If you've got 3 things in the refrigerator, you're still not going to find the one thing that was asked.
That's true. When I have a list and I go to the grocery store, it takes me maybe 2 hours.
Do you just buy one of everything?
I'm like,
just in case.
I guess I gotta get the Skittles gummies.
Are you bad at finding things?
Yeah.
Brad?
Yeah, pretty bad.
Ethan?
My wife says that I need to have big boy eyes.
I've heard him say that before. That's not even new to this.
Use your big boy eyes.
I've heard him say that.
Is she right, though? Is she in the right to say that?
Sometimes.
Okay, converse question to the men. How does it feel when your wife asks you to go get something and you come back and you're like, I can't find it, and it takes her 14 seconds to find it, and it's right where she said it was?
I usually have no shame. Like, good for you. You saw it. It was behind the milk. I'm sorry.
Good for you, because I was going to say emasculated. And I stand by that, because I like, dang it, I'm freaking mad now that you found that thing in 10 seconds.
Is it when she explains exactly where it is and you go look and it's like it wasn't? Do you feel gaslit? Like
Yes.
there's a little gremlin that's putting
Yes.
it there,
Yeah.
and it's something that we do to you just to keep you questioning?
Yeah. Okay, magic sprite that just placed that there that wasn't there before.
Brad,
behind
how's
the
that make you
Rubik's
feel?
Cube.
Yeah, I don't get it. I stare at the spot that I knew that it wasn't there before, that it was sitting in right when she came in. I'm like, oh, and usually I'll see it as she's walking in. It's like, oh, it's right there. Oh, no. So, yeah, I hate it.
Next question, Ryan.
Okay. Are you?
Can you find your question list?
Are
Here,
you
let me get it for you.
Expected? Yeah. Can you tell me what I should ask here? That'd be great.
I could.
Are you expected to only eat a little at events?
Oh, good question.
That is an interesting question.
Thank you. It's a great question.
We've had the conversation before, Trish. I know you've been a part of it, where it's like the approved amount of pieces of pizza you can eat publicly versus the amount of pieces of pizza you would eat privately. I will always eat less in public than I would eat if I were by myself, but I'm not really a quantity eater. I've never really needed to like eat a lot. You wanna confess how many pieces of pizza you would eat?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm home alone, it's at least, it depends on if it's a medium or a large, but it's at least 4, maybe 5 pieces of pizza at home.
Yeah.
In public, or if we're in the kitchen here sharing pizza in a group setting, it's 2.
Yeah, I'm a 2 pieces of pizza in public, maybe. Might try to get away with 1, and I will probably eat 3 pieces of pizza. I try to always eat like a vegetable or something first, just so that I am not full
It's
enough
responsible of
to
you.
eat that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 41 and nothing works like it's supposed to. So,
Does it change how long the pizza's been out? Can the number climb up the longer it's been out?
I don't know that science.
I know.
I'm saying, like, if you aren't able to get to it immediately, it's clearly the pizza's been dug into, and
It
it's
also
been
matters
out there.
where it is.
It's been out there for a little while. You're like, oh, like clearly, people have had their first takes. Does that give you the excuse to take an extra piece?
I don't think that for girls traditionally, it's just you don't want to look like a pig in front of people.
See, that's not the problem that I'm concerned with. I'm figuring out how can I get the most amount of pizza possible.
That's because you're a boy.
Yeah.
The older I get, though, the less I care. Like, I'm
For
going back
sure.
to that pizza more and more, but then it becomes, is this pizza going to make me sleepy? Then it becomes, like...
Maybe this is
can
how
my brain
men
keep up
fall
with
asleep
this?
on demand.
Yeah, we don't care.
Pizza quantity.
We
8
do not
slices.
care. And it also matters, Ethan, where the pizza is, because if the pizza is on the floor or in the trash can, take all you want.
I also don't understand this science. Ethan, do you want to do for us the live chat poll for today? We can.
Yeah, as Annie turns.
I'm giving him an A, by the way. Ryan, you?
I would say
President Trump?
A minus B plus, so I'd have to go A in this poll.
Brad?
A.
Trisha, do you want to weigh in?
A.
Okay, A's.
He didn't
Like
Straight
no
A's.
one coming through the border. It's pretty good to me.
Wow. Okay.
Way to go, big boy eyes.
272 votes.
We probably have big boy eyes down there at the border measuring the people who come across. Trump keeps going, they say 0. I don't even believe that.
Well, there was no eyes before.
We
Great
just can't
President
find
Trump's first 6 months, 66% given an A, 27% BC, and only a combined 8% say D or F.
All right, like a real pro. Keep it here, The Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk. Next.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No pain, don't paint vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The Diamond Shop online at thediamondshop.net. Enjoy the summer clearance and estate sale going on now in Clayton at the Diamond Shop. Red tag clearance up to 70% off at the Diamond Shop. 50% off all estate pieces. And I feel like you're either an estate piece person or maybe you've never experienced it, but once you go in and you see the ornate, wonderfully unique kinds of pieces that come from a sale like this with 50% off with that red tag clearance sale, this is a must visit time now through August 16th. That summer clearance and estate sale red tag clearance is going on. You can sign up to become a VIP on the website at thediamondshop.net. Thediamondshop.net, it's at the bottom of the homepage. There's this form you can fill out. And then on sales like this and many others throughout the course of the year, if you're a VIP, you get an extra 10% off. That is included on all red tag clearance items. They're in Clayton and they're online right now at thediamondshop.net.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon with news for listeners who, like me, want to learn more about Bitcoin. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club is coming to St. Louis later this summer. The Bitcoin Ben Crypto Clubs teach members what Bitcoin is, how to buy it, how to safely store it, and how to avoid scams. And we'll connect with others like us who want to learn more about crypto. St. Louis will be the 7th club nationwide and Ben's hometown. If you want to know more about Bitcoin, you need to know Bitcoin Ben. Learn more at bitcoinben.io. That's bitcoinben.io.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Calling it a weak attempt at distraction. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's part of how former President Obama's office is responding after President Trump accused Obama of treason over efforts to undermine his 2016 campaign and first presidency.
President Trump says it's time to start going after people following a report from his director of national intelligence about the genesis of the Russia election interference case.
Obama's been caught directly. So people say, oh, you know, a group. It's not a group. It's Obama. His orders are on the paper.
DNI Tulsi Gabbard alleges a treasonous conspiracy was committed by high-level